And welcome back. Meet four, Mitch, already.
It's flown by. It has flown by. What a night for it as well, Mick. Meet 4 has turned it absolutely on. I usually save these sort of compliments just for Box Hill, but it is an incredible night for athletics.
I was walking in tonight and I thought, how long has it been since I've been to Lakeside Stadium? Because the track looks bluer.
Yeah.
Like, how long ago was it that they laid that?
And the grey.
Maybe
the
18
grey's
months, I reckon.
new.
Maybe just haven't been to Lakeside for all that long.
I'll tell you what, it was looking good at Zatopek, so it's looking immaculate tonight as well. But yeah, I was a bit shook when I saw it popping in the grey. I was like, okay, I haven't been here in far too long. I'm with you.
And have you ever been to or called a Milers Club meet or even heard of a Milers Club meet that has gone down to the O race?
I haven't, and this is going to be an absolute spectacle, a clinic of 800-metre racing, some may say. We've got 10 as well in this O race, so it's not like they're scraping the numbers in the O. We've got a full 10 field.
If we've got I'm not even going to attempt to tell you what number O comes to in the alphabet, 16 or 17 odd. If you're doing the A, B, C, D, E, F, G on your hands, 10 athletes per race, and that's just O men's.
Yeah.
They've got women's races as well.
I think they start pretty low down too. It's number 15 in the alphabet, the O. And they've absolutely blown it open as well through the first 200 metres. And this is just, as a commentator of these races, this is the dream because we've got the clock right up there. We've got the big scoreboard with all the names. We can see absolutely everything here. This is...
Yeah, Box Hill might be the home of PBs for the athletes, but you can't beat
time.
Lakeside. Yeah. This is our Olympic Games up here in the box with all the technology at our fingertips.
Well, Bangura he's dropped to 64 to start, so he's absolutely not messing around, the invitational athlete. Coming out of lane 10, coming through now is also Mifsud. And we have some Diamond Valley contingent. There's usually a father-son somewhere in here from Diamond Valley. I'd be interested to know if it's in this one. But I think that is Rudd behind there, but it's been absolutely blown out by Bangura. He is 70 metres, Joseph Bangura, in front right now. And no signs of slowing down. He's gone through, let's get this 600, 137. 137 for the 0800. Now, he may have misseeded himself, potentially.
I would say so. Or maybe he just hasn't run one in a while.
Yeah,
It's a bit unsure.
the first time. Yeah, I'm not sure, but he's...
And massive Falls Creek block.
He's 95 metres ahead. And he's going to take out this men's 0800 Touchwood, barring any major catastrophe in the final 60 metres.
You've got to respect the time trial.
Geez, he's going to run under 2:10 or just over.
We won't see that for another 6 races.
2:11. I would love to know what the seed time was for Joseph Bangura, but he's absolutely smashed it out of the park. So 2:11, we're approaching 2:22 on the clock, and it is Misfit now who's coming down. He's going to take a second place, and behind him there is going to be tapping from Diamond Valley. Coming through now is also Morgan. Behind him is our Doncaster athlete, as we see Rudd making his way down now. We have 3 competitors left.
So I'm not saying it was an admin error, but the seed time that we have for Joseph Bangura is a 4:13. So it's half of that, almost.
Did he mean to run the mile? Has he put out his mile time for the 800? Because he's just run a 2-minute, 2-second PB.
Yeah. Well, lucky he's a good time trialer.
That is phenomenal. You're right. We won't see that sort of time for a while. But Joseph Bangura just did it easy. So to keep in context, women I as well. So we've got 23 800-metre races.
There you go. That's some pretty good numeracy and literacy skills there.
Well,
combining maths with your counting.
I'll tell you what, last week when you weren't here, Isaac showed me up in the maths department. So I went away and did some year 11 and 12 further maths just to brush up. Yeah. And as a carpenter as well, I should probably know maths quite easily, but the calculator certainly comes out on the job site a little bit too much. But we're learning. So 9 in the men's N800. And a lot of juniors. Looks like a couple of little athletes out there.
A few boys.
Yeah. A few boys and men. Boys to men.
If you're a fan of.
I reckon it's still sitting at about 30 degrees out there as well.
Yeah, I did check the temp earlier on and saw it about 9-10 p.m. when we're going to be walking out of the stadium later on. It's still going to be a warm 24 degrees.
Oh, boy.
That's
what you want.
About a nice 19 in the air-conditioned commentary box, though.
So
don't worry about us.
We're being pampered. The real heroes of Athletics Exclusive tonight are the two camera people, because they are outside in the elements. So you see, it's the mighty Western A's who make their way out the front.
Oh, yeah.
The men's
It would be.
Is that McCall? I'm going to say it's Macaulay. Rolling out of 32. So maybe we will see somebody go faster than 2:11.
Kalen Macaulay, son of, one of the oldest Western Aths, not the oldest, but the longest longest standing Western Athletics members and coaches, Stu Macaulay. Sorry if you're listening, Stu. Didn't mean the oldest, as I'm sure you know.
He's winking at me, Stu.
But how's that gap that Kalen has put on the rest of the field only after one lap? We've got another time trial on our hands.
Yeah, everybody wants to run fast. I mean, it's starting to get toward that business end of the season, I suppose. You know, we're in the February now. This is where you really start to sharpen the knives. It's Delbridge behind him there, and so too is going to be McKenna. So you're right, Macaulay's put about 20 metres into them through the first 400 metres. No signs of slowing down either. He's got absolute gusto in the legs, and the arms are pumping. In the men's N. That's right, N for Nicholas. 800. Incredible. And there might be maybe a little bit of an effort there in second place. So Macaulay, he's got the head on he's got the inside swivel. He's gone the left turn. He's done the Steve Prefontaine, turn the wrong way. So Macaulay still 20 metres, but the legs might be tightening up a little bit. Ooh, let's have a look here. So I reckon we might have a little charge in second place there, but I think Macaulay's going to be able to do enough to hold on. 2:03 reads the clock. 100 metres to go. Macaulay's still out in front. And he's going to have to keep pushing here because maybe... no, I think he's got it. He's done enough. Geez, he timed himself really well there. He's going to come down and collect it at about 2:23. Yeah, well done there. Delbridge comes for second. A mighty effort to try and push his way up through the ranks. We now have Gibson crossing the line. What about little athletes there? I believe that's Kane. Crossing the line too. As we now have Mayhew Sharp of Mornington Peninsula. He did a little Irish jig over the line. It's unbelievable.
Must have got a PB.
Yeah. I almost hope he didn't, and that's just something that he does at the end of races.
It's just a superstition.
Yeah, just if I don't cross with two legs, it's not going to count. That would really excite me. Hey, we got some juicy lineups tonight as well in some of our faster races.
We do. It's as you said, the knives start to get sharpened at this time of the year, and for a lot of club runners, it's 4th Milers Club race or the 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th race of the season altogether. But for some of our more elite runners, the international representatives as such, probably just getting started, as we saw at Zatopek a week or two ago. And we've got someone who ran at Zatopek, Katrina Bissett. He's on the track for the Women's A race. Yeah,
and dominated at Zatopek as well. Just sort of left Ellie Sanford, who's been doing a lot of her work in the Milers Club, sort of just left her in her wake a little bit over the final 70 metres. So she's obviously, starting to get into her stride. Also, Lyndon Hall's racing that 800 as well. Ellie Sanford, I think, might be in that 800. Kearsop Cole's down for it. So that Women's A 800 is absolutely stacked.
That will be one to watch for sure. And it comes at about the middle of the program. That will be at 7 8:12 p.m. for the women's A 800 metres. So all the A races, just for anyone watching at home, 8:07 to 8:23 will be the women's and men's A 800s and mile championships.
Oh, the mile championships. It's such a
Historic.
good one, yeah, to win. Such a history, such a pedigree of athletes that have come through and won that.
Loving Lakeside tonight, but it always was kind of cool having the historic event of the mile championships at a historic track like Melbourne University. Well, felt historic anyway with the big. I don't know how old the track is, but it's older than Lakeside Stadium anyway.
Well, as we just established, it's been resurfaced at some point when we weren't here.
Yeah, could have the mile championships around the donut at Olympic Park, the new Olympic Park.
That would be
just
cool,
around the round track.
It's a 500-metre track.
Yeah, something like that.
That would be pretty party. Imagine lining them up. You'd have to start.
That'd be unreal. The historic donut.
Well, first of the women's 800s is 300 metres through their paces, and they're certainly getting out to a nice little stride here. Donaldson's going to lead them out of Glenn Huntley. You cannot miss her in that pink headband. So Donaldson going to lead it out. Tucked in behind her there, I believe, is Crowley, who's an invitational athlete, and right on the rail where you want to be is Bryant from Glenn Huntley. So they've gone through in about a 77. And now they start to ramp it up a little bit. So they start to make a little bit of gap. These four in front. And they're running almost in a perfect box formation, which you don't see too often in an 800, but they're absolutely making it work. So the four of them are starting to gap the rest of this field now. You'd call it, geez, generously 10. Let's start to push to 15 as 4 quickly becomes 3, which may even become 2. As we start to see them burn through their paces now, it's Crowley who's going to try and get these women moving with 200 metres to go. On the inside of her there is still our early race leader in Donaldson. And she just edges her way through the inside. And now on the outside, that's going to be Bryant. So I think it's a Glenn Huntley 1-2 right now. And straight to the arms. She's come around 2 of them to make her way to the front with 100 metres to go. The race is certainly not over, but it is going to be Bryant who's going to lead it out. And the one chasing is going to be Crowley. So Bryant leading it. Crowley now just starting to creep up a little bit on her shoulder. It's still Bryant. Crowley. I think Bryant's timed it well. And she hasn't timed it well. She's timed it perfectly. So we're going to get the stop of the clock there. 2:34. Woo.
C times of 2:40 or above for all these athletes. And we just had 6 of them under that mark.
Damn.
He says sharpening the knives come February.
They're sharp. Get too close to them.
Sharp enough to cut up the track.
Oh, yeah.
Slice some PBs.
Here we go.
Keep going.
Oh, it's early. It's early.
Only up to the I race. For God's sakes.
Oh, boy. Oh, boy. I'd love to see just a full... I've never seen like a full capacity Lakeside.
Yeah, I have.
That would be incredible. Really?
Yeah, Little Athletics Championships.
Do they get...
Yeah, 100%.
I would love to see that.
Yeah, unfortunately, for the for a lot of the adults racing tonight, Mum and Dad aren't coming down to the stadium to have a look.
Yeah. Yep. And the whole family's not coming down.
Yeah, exactly. But for Little Athletics State Championships, it's, packed stadiums, no worries.
That would be so cool.
It is.
We need to advertise it, like these events, very differently.
The father of Wolfgang Kochenemesi is running out of lane 1 for Collingwood. I only know that through the great information we got from Isaac Bibile at race.
Also recognising common surnames.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just believe in the mystery. Just believe in the magic of Isaac. Now, Fransky on the outside, lane number 8. He would be the smallest competitor in the field.
Wow.
And he has one of the greatest hearts of all time. He almost pulled off one of the greater junior state title upsets last year over 3,000 metres. So to see him in the 800 now, I'm very interested. I wouldn't be surprised if he leads this race out.
On your marks.
Kransky.
The 225
Stand up.
800-metre runner from Audley.
Guys, I need you not to unnecessarily delay the start. When we say on your marks, I need you to move up to your marks and be still. On your marks.
Unnecessarily. Bit of an insight into...
I'd love to know who's intentionally shaking.
Yeah. They just
Gotcha.
weren't steady there.
Yeah. I've got you, boys.
Yeah.
And so on the inside, that is Holditch. Nice. So we have, in the first 250, it's broken up once again. So we seem to have a few athletes here just making it their own quite early. And we'll get a read on this. It is Holditch. So Holditch out in front. And behind them there is Viney. So Holditch, Viney. Holditch got beautiful form. 66 on the clock. So Holditch gets it there. And in third place, leading the rest of this pack out, is Sanderson. So Sanderson takes a little look around his shoulder to see whether or not this pack's going to move around him. They do just that. So Holditch still leading it out, and it's Viney chasing. So Viney going to the arms up the back straight. Holditch has one of the most comfortable running styles I have ever laid eyes on. Matty Holditch.
Looks like he should do that
gone
for
the left.
days and days.
What's with the inside shoulder look going on? You got to get on your right shoulder, fellas. On the right shoulder, not the left shoulder. Come on, Matty Holditch. He's still leading it out. I mean, it doesn't matter what shoulder he leans over at this point. He's still leading this race. So Matty Holditch is leading it out. Paul Viney chasing. And we start to see, is that Eugene Nemesi of Collingwood in third. Can he just absolutely fly from the clouds to come through and steal it all? It's going to take a lot. I think it's going to be Matty Holditch. He had that quick look on the left-hand side, and he quickly straightened his neck. No more whiplash. It was a beeline for the finish line. So here's Matty Holditch. He's got the hat on, the retro hoops, and he's going to take it out here in the men's 800 metres, 2:19 on the clock. There we go. Eugene. Viney and Nemesi get there. 2:19. Hello. So it's our men's M800. You wouldn't think it, but guess what? The men's L800 is next.
If you're good at predicting things,
Yep.
then you might have guessed it.
Put your money on the alphabet.
11 lining up in this race.
Oh, wow.
2 Western athletes.
Oh,
Bit easier to get to Lakeside from the west as opposed to Box Hill on a weeknight.
oh. It actually must be manic for some people to get to Box Hill on a weeknight. I feel like I'm
Hope that you're
them.
seated in the middle of the
Yeah.
middle of the meet or right at the end.
You would not want to be. Yeah, I would hate to know what time you're leaving to get here. I'm in the middle of both, so it really doesn't faze me too much. So 10. The hats. It is warm. Good to see a couple of hats being worn, though. I feel like there's a weird stigma about wearing hats in races.
In
on the
races.
track. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't understand why.
No, why not? If it's sunny, it's sunny.
Yeah,
Hat has a purpose, doesn't it?
I reckon they look cool. Not that I'm...
I feel like it's becoming more
On
and
your
more
marks.
a fashion thing in running anyway.
Yeah.
Like,
Is it
hasn't,
fractal?
Hasn't quite, fractal, Sealy.
Yep.
Hasn't quite cracked through on the track yet. We all got to admit that. But hats in running becoming more and more a thing. I'm a hat wearer on my jogs.
Yeah, I'm a big hat
Will I
wearer.
wear it on a fast run?
No.
Not yet. I'm going to be honest.
I gotta...
But I
what's
don't know
the
why.
stigma?
I don't know
Yeah,
why.
Where is it? You know, Olympic gold medals have been won with hats on. Let me just say that.
Yeah, in the race walking.
Yep. No.
Yeah.
Dave Waddle, 800 metres, a big American. Marathon, maybe?
Marathon, definitely. Yeah. Does the sun still get in my eyes if I'm running fast? Yes, it does.
Yeah. So it doesn't quite make sense. What about sunglasses?
I just don't have the right sunglasses.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
yes, but I just don't have the right ones.
You need the pit vipers, the big ones that take up all your face. The Jack Rayners.
That is the trend. That is the trend.
Right now we have another fast start in the men's L800. Let's
Would that be
get them
Geordie
through the
Walsh?
first
Geordie Walsh,
65.
the invite athlete, in the green, leading the way.
Who's he dragging through there? Is that Newen?
Melbourne. Yeah, from Melbourne Uni.
Yep.
It is Quan Newen from Melbourne Uni. So it is.
He's getting dragged big time.
Yeah. You're saying just wait to see what you reckon he's stalking.
I reckon he's got
Newen's
the benefit
stalking.
now of just waiting behind him.
The invite athlete in Walsh is doing all the work, and Newen is, he's looking pretty comfortable, isn't he? Just almost clipping the
in the
heels.
bend.
200 metres to go, and you've called it, Mitch.
Bang goes Newen. Yeah, he looked too good behind him there.
Yeah. There was a tactic to it. Race 4, and we're still trying tactics.
We've got some flyers in the back of the race as well, but Newen just... I'd love to know what his seat time is coming in here, because I reckon Walsh has dragged him through pretty fast, and now he's just the benefit of the Ricky Bobby slingshot. So Newen to the arms. He's going to come down and take this one.
Ricky Bobby, talking about Will Ferrell movies, I've been thinking about the Blades of Glory lately.
With the Winter Olympics on?
Yeah. And how's the flood? Athlete after athlete.
They all came charging. So I think Newen's just run an even split.
Yeah, very good race, very smart. It's hard to do it. If you're only running 2 laps, it's hard to be patient. You just want to go. But he went. when the time was right. Women's H800 coming up. Only 9 in this race. Okay, fluctuating between fields of 9, 10, and 11.
It's good numbers. It's where you want to be.
There's a bit of cash on offer tonight as well, by the way. The women's D mile is the Dash for Cash. So I think it's usually 100 for the Dash for Cash.
Yeah, unless we chip in as well, which apparently the last 2 Milers Club, I've unofficially promised to also pay the winner $100.
Why would you do that? Just getting excited.
I don't know.
We'll see how good the race is. If I get carried away, I'll chip in.
You'll run down there.
$5 or so.
There we go.
I'll pay for their parking.
Actually, I would love that.
$5.50.
I'd be so stoked if somebody did that for me.
And then there's the winners of the A races get $300 each on the Instagram today for Vic Miles. I saw a picture of the checks. So it's the John Higham 800-metre race, and the family for the last few years has donated $300 each for the winners of those races, and the winner of the mile championships get a medal.
And state title.
Yeah, which is priceless.
You can't put a price on that. You absolutely can't. The mile championships, they hit different. Beautiful night for it too.
You can put a price on a $300 check though.
I think it's $300. I'm
not whatever you're shouting.
But a wise one. You'd love to see who wins it and then also see their social media post-event. Women's H800 off and racing through the first 200 metres. This is probably the most bunched up group we've seen thus far tonight.
Yeah, it is. Getting into those, away from the lower seeded races, and we get the athletes with closer seeded times. Just trying to identify that first athlete who's leading the way. It's Olivia Johnston from Eureka. I was thinking Mentone at first, and I thought, there's no one listed. We've been jibbed for admin again. Olivia Johnston is leading the way. Abby Hickey is right up in the mix as well from Sandringham. She's in second.
They're all strung out.
Maya Eastwood, the invite athlete, and Audrey Savage from Essendon. They're your top few. Abby Hickey has just got up on the shoulder and gone right past Johnston. And she's not doing it slowly. She's doing the opposite.
Yeah, she's flying.
She hasn't just said, I might just sit in front of you. She's passed with a bit of gusto there and opened up about 5 metre lead. But Maya Eastwood, no, it's Audrey Savage, should I say, from Essendon, has got up on the shoulder of Johnston as well and is putting the chase on Abby Hickey, our athlete from Sandringham, with 200 metres to go. So Hickey, Eastwood and Johnston are still your top three. And Savage is chasing hard. She's almost up on the shoulder of Hickey, who has done the work for the last couple of 100 metres. And it's going to be a sprint off. Charge to the finish in the women's 800 metres. Savage, Hickey. Savage on the outside, Hickey on the inside. Going neck and neck. Hickey's done a lot of the work. Savage has made the late charge. Is she going to hold on? So close. Hickey, is she going to put her nose forward? Oh. She is. Half a metre. What a last couple 100 metres that was.
Oh, my Lord.
Olivia Ponchard as well. I didn't even mention her. She comes through for a sneaky third position.
That is pure grit to win that one.
Yeah. Could have easily said, it's been a good race.
Just go, it's a bit hot.
Yeah.
I'm probably going to run a PB anyway.
Yeah.
Concerning, that's where both our heads went.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a bit hot.
Yeah, it's warm, Eddie.
It's okay.
Wow. I know you said we were ranging between 9 to 11, but there's always an outlier. 12.
Wow.
That's going to be a hectic cross across if all men are here. Can I make a comment?
Nah, that's not what you're here for, mate.
Yeah. That's not what people are listening
Keep your comments to yourself.
Have you ever seen Gav Burren wear a different outfit to the track?
Where is he?
He's always got the same red shorts, black shirt.
Oh, yeah.
They're like synonymous with Gav Burren.
Okay, here's another question. Have you ever seen him sit in a seat on the front straight? Or is he always either at the finish line, 200 metre, or let's say 3K start line, or 1,500 metre start line?
No, now that you mention it.
I've never seen him at the 100 metre start line or sitting in a seat at the front straight.
It's actually a great...
like a good middle distance coach should. Or shouldn't.
He's all over the place.
On your marks.
So good. A couple of good comments.
Gav Burren getting some well-deserved airtime. So this is a flying start. 1, 2, 3. So 11. So we've had one not show. Still 11 is quite a few here in the men's K800. They make their way across. Jeepers. Who is that? Burnell? They are flying, are they not?
Seed times are around 2:15 for the lads. So 32. Yeah, there we go. So they're well ahead of 32. Not the field, but a couple of athletes out the front of it.
Yep.
So 2:15. If they go through that first lap in about 65 or so, they'd set them up pretty nicely. But I suspect it's going to be a bit faster than that.
I reckon they're, 6:62, 63, I reckon.
Okay, and this might be an invite athlete, and he is Justin Burnell, the invite athlete. Looking like he's got a footy pre-season singled on as well.
That's what it looks like.
Done a bit of AFS in the off-season, maybe.
Well, Sullivan's going to try and chase him down with a 63-second first lap.
65, 66. So putting themselves all in pretty good position to go that sub 2:15 that most of them have seated themselves at.
There's a lot of carnage at the back of this pack. Like, they're all trying to work out a way to be able to move around the midfield of it. But the man who doesn't have to worry about it all might be the man who actually doesn't run athletics, Burnell. So he's just put himself out there and gone, boys, I might not know what I'm doing, but I'm going to make you work for it. And he hasn't slowed up all that much. He's going to come through here in, 1:36. So he's put together a 33-second one there. So he's on pace to go under that 2:10. And he's not slowing down. He's only putting further distance into him. So it is going to be Burnell, Justin Burnell. He's let it from the gun. I reckon he's going to take it to the tape, 100 metres to go. Look at the carnage in this pack trying to chase him down. So Burnell's put the afterburners on, and he's just gone bang, and he's got about 30 metres on. They're coming out to the commentary box to move around at this point. So Burnell, look at the clock, 2:08. Woo! That is moving.
10,
They're
11,
out in lane 3 to finish
12
here.
for the rest of them.
Wow.
Imagine if Burnell wasn't, Burnell, unreal race, time trialled it, and about 6 seconds faster than his seed. However, took away from the amazing race that was going in the field for second, third and fourth positions.
Going on back behind him. Oh, I've never seen people finish that wide. Only in specific races. But, wow, Burnell.
Only when they've got the cones out in the 5K and you have to
you've got to finish out here,
wide.
boys. Or we're going to
have to finish in lane 4.
Wow, that's great racing. 2:08. He went through in 63.
Yeah.
So another
pretty
close to even
textbook
split.
for an 800.
Oh, this Old Melburnian singlet is so cool, the white one. I love it.
The Old Melburnians, the white one, yes. White with the subtle red and yellow stripes, and the old school college logo just in the middle.
There's something about it.
Yeah, it's sleek.
I think every club should have to bring back a vintage style.
Well,
singlet.
I also like the Wellington just to the right of the Old Melburnians. It's got that like old classic look.
Similar with the logo on the front.
but the stripe going the other way.
Yeah.
The hoop rather than the stripe.
The hoop.
And the old school classic logo just
Can you do that noise again?
On your marks.
Comes across well with the mic, doesn't it?
They should use that as the gun.
the start gun. Now on.
I wouldn't even be able to start. I'd be too entranced by the noise.
Don't worry about capturing the sound from the start line. I'll just make the start gun sound
Mitch
from now on.
You're about to put a man out of a job.
Yeah. Oh, I'll stop doing that then. I don't want to be that guy.
So I think it's Liam Michelle who's got to the lead.
I don't think it is. I think it's Austin Fernando.
Hey, I think you're right.
Now I've set you up. Keep going.
And he's come wide as well, Austin Fernando. So Fernando leading it out on the inside of him is going to be Jenkins as well. He's about a metre back. Got a really big forward stride, Jenkins, looking at it. So he definitely wants to stay out of trouble. Fernando's throwing up shuckers. Did you see that?
He just threw a shucker.
I think that's his mum on the sideline. He's just stuck his tongue out and thrown a shucker.
Yo, mum, he is.
Yeah.
Was that Fernando? I was about to say, Jake, we'd expect this type of behaviour from Jake Jenkins down from Geelong, but not Fernando out the front.
Fernando's
from St Stephen's.
Hey,
far too casual for St Stephen's.
Watch me go. So Fernando, party time Fernando. Let's see if he can hold on now. So Fernando's leading it out. He's still got that couple of metre gap. Behind him there is Schofield, and they're starting to move away a little bit. So we've got Fernando, then we've got a pack of 4, and then we've got a little bit of a break going back to the next group, but still not too far away. So Fernando, 200 metres to go. I reckon Schofield's going to come hunting, though. So Fernando, I want to see if he runs past his mum again and does something with 100 metres to go.
Double shuck.
Yeah, if he does it, it was like Rayner doing the double
It might
cobra.
be like
if we get a double
finger to the
shucker,
air.
he can't. Surely
Nah,
not.
he's pumping those
he's
arms.
locked
He is.
in now.
Yeah.
He's focused up with 100 metres
Eyes
to go.
on the prize.
Schofield, maybe no. Fernando found another gear. He was hiding that behind the shucker. Oh, he screamed.
Go.
He wants it. Go. 2:06. I would love to know what he wanted to run right there, to scream at the finish line. That is phenomenal. What personality.
Fernando.
Oh, I hope for his sake that he's run a PB. Because if
What
he
a finish.
hasn't and he does that.
He finished like he might be a 400 metre run. 2:13 was his seed time.
Oh,
so to get
boy.
a 2:06, that's unreal. He loves it. We love it.
I want to talk
finish?
to him. Yeah. How do we talk to him?
That was like a 6th gear. So he was on 4th gear, and then he was like, he literally just kept going. You could see it.
Do you think he remembered? He's like, oh, shit, hold on, I can sprint.
Yeah, maybe.
I need to get going here.
The shuckers.
Sorry, Mum, I got no time for shuckers.
I chucked a shucker in a race once. I'll tell you the story if you're interested. Even if you're not, I'm going to say it.
Of course I'm interested.
So, back when I used to work in the world of athletics, I used to be friends with the person who took photos on the side of the track, and he's like, mate, like, smile when you're running around tonight, and I'll take some photos of you. You should even chuck up a shucker. And he was like massive into surfing.
Yeah.
And I was like, you know what? I will. Like in the first few laps, once I get a bit of space, I'll chuck up a shucker. And I did, and he took a photo of it.
Is that photo still circulating?
Oh, it's somewhere in the archives, yeah. It exists. I'll show it to you in the break.
I was going to say, we're going to have to find it for the next one. You have to put it on the social.
Put it up on the Facebook,
On your marks.
That's such a flex.
Yeah, add that to the show notes, Lock.
Mix Shaka. 10 minutes. Shrine. So we got 10 listed. 10 on the line. Wow, good. Nobody's
You
out
love
of
it
this
when
race.
things work.
Yeah, this is something that I can get on board with.
Oh, crossing
cross.
the
Is that
crossover
Kenny?
line altogether.
Kenny's just stuck
Could
her
be.
nose out in front of it, I think.
Looks like it is.
But there's a bit of pressure on the inside. I don't know whether she's left the rail open, but 34, she obviously had to do a little bit of work to get to that front.
Now, this is a race.
Yeah, throw a blanket over him.
Might be a bit hot.
Yeah, they probably sweat
Probably
through
shouldn't do that.
it. Probably sweat
Slow
through
them
it.
down a bit. You could, though. That's the
get
point.
the
You
legs
could.
tied up,
And
yeah.
if you had a blanket, you could throw it over them.
Theoretically,
From first to last,
would it be smart? No.
nah, need about 6 metre long blanket.
So still got the lead.
Kenny in second is
breaking up a little
athlete
bit
from
this-
could be Louise Lazar from Sandringham.
Well, our Mentone duo, Hastings and
It is Lazar.
Tomei, they need to latch back on here. So Kenny's still leading it.
Lazar and Isabella Jordan from Geelong Guild in the mix as well. She's sitting in third position, almost up on the shoulder of Lazar. Kenny, though, leading the way. A lot of races have gone that way so far tonight. Leading from the start, leading at the end. Will Kenny continue that trend? I mean, Lazar's looking pretty good on her heels, and she gets up on the shoulder of Kenny. Passes. Let's see with how much authority she passes. Will she bridge a bit of a gap?
Irving in fourth place from Sandringham might be okay. And coming around her outside is another invitational athlete. So there's going to be a cracking final 200, Mick.
So Lazar, yeah, not bridging the gap by too much, holding that same distance to Isabella Jordan from Geelong Guild, yeah, the athlete that you just called from Glen Huntley. Making a move. But Lazar, is she just going to be too strong? She's got the lead of a few metres.
I think that's Chambers on the outside of her now. So Chambers, we've got two individual athletes here. So Chambers on the outside of Lazar. Oh! Ooh!
Oh, I couldn't call that.
Call it. Try and call it.
I'm going to go Lazar on the inside.
Yeah.
Just heard in the back of the commentary box, Tim Crosby saying it was Lazar on the inside.
Oh, that's inside
So I'll
the
just go with Crosby trackside.
That is
purely
inside
because
the
he's got the better view.
He's got a really good eagle eye, Tim.
Yeah, I mean he's watched a few races, hasn't
Like frustratingly good.
he? Yeah.
I remember we called a 100 and it was Taylor Willis and co. And they literally, we're watching it from here where we are now, and they finish in a blanket. And Tim was like, oh yeah, Eddings won that. And I was like, mate, you can't see that.
Yeah,
and sure enough,
and he
he
did.
won by like 0.0002 of a second.
Oh, so yeah. Maybe he couldn't have seen it. Maybe he's just lucky.
No, I think he saw it.
Maybe that's that probably is taking credit.
Oh, we
away
might have got
from
this
Tim.
one wrong.
Yeah.
Oh,
I don't reckon it was Lazar. I reckon it was our invite athlete on the outside.
Chambers.
Anyway, we'll wait for the results.
Wow.
Don't think we need to, though.
Yeah.
Go on, I'll go down and tell Tim that
Yeah.
he's
You let him know.
I'll let him know.
He's lost his touch. So we got 10 listed in the men's 800. Good to see a Trinity singlet out there. That's what we want to see.
That's what you want to see.
Yeah, specifically me. Yeah, I specifically want to see that singlet on the track. Flynn McNamara. I'm not entirely sure who you are, but I already love you. And if you just so happen to be around Lakeside, get on down here. It's going to be a great night of racing.
Yeah, if you're settled in your couch in Middle Park or something and you just got nothing to do,
Come over.
well, this is something to do. Wander on down. It's a great night.
Do a lap of the lake after,
Classic
bring your
Melbourne
partner, your
summer
kids.
night.
Yeah, this is what it's all about. You know what I did last night, roguely? You know those new scooters that they've dropped in around Melbourne? Mate.
I see where this is going.
I was on the, if you could follow the storyline, you're about to know I was on one for 70 minutes last night.
Oh, that will cost you, what, 30, 35 bucks? So?
Yeah, 30 odd bucks.
Yeah. Yep. Still, those scooters it's probably about worth 30 bucks a ride.
Yeah, they're pretty fun. We went through the Macca's drive-through on the scooters.
I suggested that to my partner
on your marks
earlier this week, actually, and she's like, and just ride around. What? Just ride around the city?
They actually fly. Yeah, they're fun as.
Yeah, ride around the city. I feel like you're not hearing me.
Down. If you go into a zone they're not meant to be, it gives you this massive alert, and it's like, your scooter is shutting down.
Won't make it all the way out to my home in Werribee then.
You never know. I'll try. I'll let you know. Because there's a fair old chance I'll be on another one next week. So, wow. 29 through the first 200 metres, so it's on.
You know what I was thinking? I was about to say athlete in the purple singlet, do we have a pacemaker in the group? But that's when I saw everyone lining up at first, the way that he was positioned. And
I tell you what, if we do,
they're
just well beyond the prescribed space.
So is that...
So that is McInnery, James McInnery. So he's got about a 10-metre lead, and he's looking really strong out in front. Look at this. We're going to get the first sub 60. No, 60 on the nose. So 60 seconds through, and the man flying on the outside here is Sayre. So Sayre goes around the outside. He's going to try and chase down McInnery. We have a few invitational athletes. They're going to want to get moving, though. You don't want to spot him too much room. 300 metres to go. Sayre said, I'm not going to give you too much. You're looking really good. Your stride's looking fantastic. I'm going to have to come and get after you. And now we see this pack. If you're not doing it up the back straight, it makes it really hard around the bend. So they're picking up a little bit of distance, I would say, but it is still McInnery leading it out. 200 metres to go, 1:31 on the clock. So we're going to say fast time.
And McInnery, a seed time of 2:09 at the age of 51, if you don't mind.
Wow. Look at him go.
Look at that mid-2.0s.
I reckon he's going at 2:04. I reckon for McInnery. He's gritting the teeth. He's got a lot of it. He's got the lactic burn. Go! McInnery's still going to lead it out. Sayre coming on the outside. He's going to move out to lane 4 just about. He gets those arms pumping. 2:02, 2:03, 2:04. A PB! At 51 years of age, a PB. That is inspirational.
Season's best will go.
I'm calling it. I'm going the Crow.
Okay.
I want to believe in the fairy tale.
Come and find us if it's not.
I want to believe in the fairy tale. Wow.
You're just excited at the fact that you've got years left, Mitch.
Yeah. 26. I've got so much time. So much time. Although I'm finding 26 to be a weird age because I only turned 26 in late Jan, and the amount of people that have already said to me, oh, closer to 30 now than 20 is alarming. It's the worst thing to hear.
I used to have this this debate with one of my mates, and I reckon it was maybe when I was like 24 or something, or even 23. Because I was like, 23? Early 20s, mate. He's like, 23 is mid-20s. And he was, I think he was like a year or two older than me. And he's like, mate, you're in your mid-20s. I'm like, I'm not.
No, that's early.
And then I think when I turned 28, he's like, forget about mid or early 20s. You're in your late 20s. Yeah, whatever.
You're over the precipice now.
Age is just a number.
Yeah, don't even worry about it. I'm definitely not crying over it. Oh. So, okay. I really, really wanted to believe in the fairy tale, but I've just had a DM come through from Jeff Risley than anyone. And he said, James is a 147 guy.
Yeah.
And my high school has this. My high school teacher who got me into running.
Oh,
well, Jeff, that's phenomenal. I've gone the way too early crow.
PB at the age of 51.
We have to thank James then for getting a 4-time Olympian into running.
And it's great to know that we've got someone watching from home as well. Hi, Jeff.
Well, and I believe Jeff's in Europe too. So there we go.
Yeah, you would be right, wouldn't you?
On your marks.
So I'm just going to, Jeff, if I say anything else silly tonight, feel free to let me know, because if I've started with that, there's a fair old chance I'm going to say something silly.
The men's H, 800 metres. And it would be Geno Assi from Knox leading the way. Daniel Malone right on his heels, settling into third or fourth place actually, but it is Assi 200 metres in, leads the bunch field.
And they're pretty strong. So Geno Assi leading him out.
Here's Jones Gorton from St Stephen's. He's making his way up the field, as is Daniel Malone.
We also have Craig Sanford, father of Ellie.
Craig Sanford, there we go.
This camera angle's amazing. 61. Let's go, boys. Oh, there's another gear. Gee, so Geno Assi has just absolutely found one more gear. I don't know whether he's gone too early or whether he's just got unlimited range, but he's absolutely flying into this back straight. So Assi's gone from 1 metre to 10 metres in the space of the blink of an eye. Now they're going to get chasing.
Check out Brent Lonergan as well. He moved his way from third to fourth position now into second position. And Rory Vile from Old Scotch in the red singlet chasing him. So we have Assi. He's holding his lead at least. Lonergan chasing hard. 120 metres to go. Rory Vile, the athlete from Old Scotch in the red singlet in third position, but Assi, he's going to hold that lead of about 10, 15 metres. Oh, Lonergan is working hard. Assi's feeling lactic acid. Is he going to hold on with the last 30 metres? I think he will.
Oh, guts to hold on there. I thought you'd commentator cursed him there for a second. Oh, what a finish, though. They went 61-61.
Well, if you talk about commentator's curse, there probably wasn't really a curse. I remember calling the Lyndon Hall's 1,500 metres this time last year, the first time that she or any woman ran under 4 minutes ever in Australia or for Australia. And about 400 metres to go, we said, it's going to be too hard. She'll probably run a 4:03, 4:04. Yeah.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah. You listen back to the stream, it's just like
I remember
cringe.
that. I remember
Perfect call, apart from those few comments.
Yeah.
They were like, nah, she's done.
Yeah. She's not getting there.
And there's like 200 metres to go. I was like, hang on.
Is Lyndon on fire?
Yeah.
Well, I'm getting texts everywhere at this point. I've just been notified Austin Fernando, the wild Shaka man, is a Tim O'Shaughnessy athlete. So I wonder if Tim's encouraged the Shaka down the home straight in the first 350 metres of the race. So So can confirm Jeff Risley is watching from Barcelona, of all places. And I was actually tuning in to watch somebody that he coaches, which we absolutely love. And you know what else I love? Jeff has found me on Instagram. I've slid into his DMs a few times.
On your marks.
Maybe on some Saturday nights. And and he hasn't followed me, but he's come in and he's messaged me. So, Jeff, I appreciate it, and I appreciate the intel. And to add on top of how much of an idiot I already made of myself, James actually had the high school record of 150 at the school Jeff went to. So here we go. And the guy that Jeff coaches ran 2:13 at the age of 53, fastest he's run in a long time. Wow, this is
what
we want from Barcelona.
But we need more of this from everyone else watching as well. We don't just come up with these facts.
Yeah, these don't just come to us.
Yeah.
And this women's F800 has just gone bang.
Wow.
Is this Pugh? I think it might be. Or it could be Matilda Grant. Let's get a look at the
Let's
numbers.
see,
They
hit
come
numbers.
down. I think it's Pugh. So I think it's Bayer, Pugh, and Grant leading leading the chase pack, I should say. So 66 through the first lap. So it's certainly on. And that is Grant leading the next of them. So this is a one-woman race right now. Gone out to about a 30, 35 metre lead. And that seems to have maintained from the first 200 metres of the race. So it's well and truly a race for Bayer Pugh. With 200 metres to go, it's going to take a lot of effort for somebody to catch her. She's looking incredibly comfortable, but there is a really good effort coming from Matilda Grant and co behind her. So that 35 metre lead still sits, 150 metres to go. They're starting to move around maybe just a little bit. Andrea de Jong now comes around to lead this pack. Don't think they're going to be able to lead it back to Pugh, though. She's run an incredibly timed race. Very, very patient and knew her race style, and she's performed absolutely fantastically. And she's going to come down and claim the win here. She's looking at the clock, so obviously there's a time she's after. Maybe that elusive 220 gets the 222, as the rest of the field now just gets absolutely flying. And I believe that is Ella Shivers who comes through for a late second place there. Or no, it was Scott Dalgleish who comes through for second there. So they all got moving late. But Pugh just went out in front and said, you know what? I'm going to win this one today. And that she did in emphatic style. Look, I don't know whether it was us or whether I'm just imagining it, but there seems to be a few more people down at the track since we made the call to arms.
Because we called them down.
Yeah, I'm just, you know, I didn't want to. I didn't want to say
mate,
it was
obviously.
us. Yeah, I didn't want to say it was us. The men's G 800. Don't forget, this started with the men's O 800.
Don't you forget that.
Yeah.
Don't you forget where we've come from.
Yeah, so we're halfway.
What did we
just
say?
Over.
26 odd?
23?
23 odd. Around 26, 23. Mid-20s anyway.
Yeah.
If you're listening early for our mid to late 20s chat.
I'm considering 26 early 20s.
Yeah, and 11 mile races coming up as well later in the evening from 8:25 onwards.
Oh boy.
Which will include the women's D Dash for Cash and the men's and women's A Victorian Mile Championships. Oh boy. Well, boy, oh boy.
We've got 11 here. These must just be frantic.
On your marks.
And racing. So let's see who gets out there first. I was always one that wanted to get to the front. I hated sitting in the pack. I reckon there'll be a few like-minded individuals out there. And I reckon Cripps of Diamond Valley, that's Jared Cripps, I believe. He's on the same brainwave as me. So Cripps going to lead it out, but this pack ain't getting split up too easy. And why would they when they've gone through in a 27 high? So Cripps going to lead it out. It's our athlete from Melbourne University right on his shoulder, one out, one back, which is exactly where you want to be. Or maybe that's not Melbourne University. Nope, it is Lilydale.
204s, 205s, by the way, for all these athletes in the field here. So going through in a 60-61 would set them up quite nicely, and anything under that would cook them quite nicely.
Well,
so we'll see what it is. 58,
59.
Okay, good luck, lads. Let's see how we go.
Oh boy. Well, Mims said it wasn't fast enough, so he led them through that bell, and he's going to try and make a move now. So Cripps just starting to drop back a little bit there. I think that's Stevens right behind Mims, and let's see who makes their way through the pack. There's usually a flyer in a race like this that comes from the mid-pack, and I reckon it's going to come from, is that another Wadding athlete there, or is it... Let's see who that is in the green. They're moving up on the shoulder, though. I told you they come from around there. So Mims still letting it out. And we do have an athlete there. I think it's Athletics Nana Wadding. But
That's
I can't see.
I think it is as well. I can't see it on the...
I cannot see. Is he our invitational athlete, maybe? Is it right?
There's Nana Wadding Little Athletics singlet, but it could be, yeah, I would say it's Eamon Wright.
So right on the inside, and now we got an absolute fly. I think that's Ruder on the outside.
Ruder.
So Ruder of Mentone comes over the top. He's got the good sunnies on, and he might just break 2. Oh, he's just outside.
Whoa.
2 minutes, 0.76.
PB town for about the first 7 or 8 athletes in that field.
Good town to be in. Hey, buy some real estate in PB town.
Yeah. Lakeside.
Business is booming.
By the lake. Oh.
Not a bad spot.
PB town. Run PBs, views of the lake.
Yep. Beautiful lakeside views at PB town. So it's certainly been fast. We've got some fast competitors running through here. Is that Fred Leeton in an 800? I believe it is.
Fred Leeton is a fast athlete. And
He's not slow.
the crazy thing is it's men's F.
I know.
I reckon tonight's it's 9 of the 800s, eh?
He could roll under 2 minutes for sure.
Just roll.
Yeah, roll.
Roll with
sprint.
with his wheels.
Yeah, just roll. Off he goes. Bye, Fred. Have a good roll.
See ya. Roll, roll around 2 laps.
Off you go. No, there's some class.
Fred Leeton, 2:02 seed time or season's best.
Who's our fastest?
Yeah, you're testing me now, mate.
I'm absolutely sorry.
I could have bluffed my way through that, but I'll be honest to everyone watching at home. Yeah, our fastest. Yeah,
I've absolutely set you up there.
He is our fastest. 2:02.
He's the fastest?
Yep.
Oh.
Yeah, he's our fastest. Why not?
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, it makes sense.
Yeah, he's our fastest. Yeah.
Told you we could roll under 2 then.
Yeah, from Fred Leeton at 2:02 down to Will Caddick at 2:03.
Oh, boy. Okay.
So there you go. Throw a blanket.
Throw that blanket.
On your marks.
Well, I'm going to be honest. This looks fast.
Benjamin Jordan, Masters athlete, Victorian Masters Athletics Club.
He's got a real Justin Rinaldi look to him. Like a really strong Justin Rinaldi.
I don't want to hang shit, but what, no hair?
Yeah. No, the speed, the form, and yes, the no hair. It's a big... If you are watching Justin, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
I'm not having a crack. I'm just saying I've seen you race, and I've seen you at the track, and he looks like you. I can't.
Yeah, I was about to say the same thing. I don't know. I don't know Justin personally at all. But that's where I thought you were going with that comment. So I just want to clarify that.
Now we may never get to know Justin
Yeah,
personally.
hopefully you have a laugh out of this anyway. And I lied earlier. Benjamin Jordan, who crosses the line out the front of the field in 59 seconds, seed time of 2:04. And there's a bit of a trip up at the back. That was Fred Leeton, who just caught up in the heels at the back of the field there. But still, Benjamin Jordan, our athlete from Old Scotch in Sam Allen, right up on the heels of and now passing Jordan with a bit of gusto there from Essendon and Riley Walsh. Now up on the shoulder of Sam Allen. Riley Walsh from Essendon. Who is it from Mornington Peninsula? It's Hamish Terrace throwing his name into the ring as well. Benjamin Jordan still in 3rd position. The Victorian Masters athlete doesn't...
He's fighting.
Yeah, he's not letting the rest of them mess around. Terrace up on the shoulder of Riley Walsh. So many lead changes in this race. The Terrace charges towards the finish line now with the shoes to match his singlet with a seed time of 2:03. He'll collect a massive PB here. Meet 4 at Milers Club. 1:58, 4-second PB for Terrace.
You'd be stoked with that.
And I think our early leader in Benjamin Jordan, a 2:03, maybe even, I'd say 2:03 there, season's best. We're not going to get carried away with our Masters athletes.
I'm not claiming any PBs.
Oh, PB.
I'm too scared of the early crow now. I'm pretty famous for the early crow, though. I get
Benjamin Jordan at the age of 45, PB.
Massive PB. Massive.
On your marks.
Women's E. Creeping towards the
getting there.
The A races where $300 cash is up for line up on the line at 8:07. Right now on the track. Wow, how's that start on the outside? Are we going to say that's?
I'm too scared to call it. I think it's Delbridge of Collingwood in second.
I'm just having a look at our.
I'm trying to. I want to see.
Could be Bowl. No, it's not Bowl, Matt. Sorry for everyone at home.
Yeah,
we're sorry about this.
We're trying to. Because it looked like she came from the very, very outside.
Well, it's definitely Delbridge in second position from Collingwood. Yeah. We can see that. That's clear as day. Clear as mud.
So it is. So it's Farrell. I believe. Sienna Farrell.
From Old Melburnians.
The all black threw me. I couldn't quite work out the uniform. So Delbridge definitely on her shoulder now, 67. I have a feeling Delbridge might... No, sorry, Delbridge is the one on the outside. Farrell might just be feeling the pinch of that flying first 200 metres, but she's still right on the shoulder, so never, ever write an athlete off. But it is Delbridge of Collingwood who's leading it out with 300 metres to go. Farrell not gone, absolutely not gone. She's only a couple of metres behind at this point. But the pack behind is absolutely charging like raging bulls.
They are stalking.
They are ready to go. So I reckon this is going to shape up to be something really nice with 200 metres to go. Delbridge leading it out. The early race leader in Sienna Farrell in second. And now they really start to fly around. So I think that's Purcell of Doncaster now creeping up on the shoulder. So she's been able to make her way and distance herself away from this pack. And it is Purcell going to the arms right now. Who is it?
San Backer.
Oh, even better.
Even better. Lucy Delbridge, will she hang on in his final 70, 80 metres? Got a gap of about a metre or two to Backer. And Delbridge's teammate in Piper Harton. Is she going to come for a late charge? Or is it going to be Backer? Harton, Backer, Delbridge. Oh, not in that order. Actually, it wasn't that order.
Yeah, about to say, I think you might have called
Backer, Delbridge.
I think you got it.
Oh, what a finish. How was that? Harton.
They came from everywhere.
Hartnett. Piper Hartnett. Didn't even... I actually enjoy that when someone comes from so far back in the field.
Yeah.
That just flew off our radar. It's like, oh, who are they?
You almost don't want to see it. You're like, oh my God, hold on. Who is this?
Makes us look a bit silly, but good for the sport, as they say. Men's E800 coming up. This is our first lot of seeded. Oh, actually, I was going to say it's our first lot of seeded athletes that are under 2 minutes, but they're all seeded at 2 minutes.
Right on.
Or 2:01. Including Michael Kernahan, who won the B races at the Zatopek a few weeks ago, just going sub 30 from memory.
The metronome.
The metronome.
No,
25 laps, now just taken away 23 of them tonight for a fast couple.
I think he'd almost enjoy the 25 more. Michael Kernahan.
I have no doubt.
So this is the smallest field. No, second smallest field we've seen of the night.
And every lane's full.
Yeah. Just goes to show the depth of distance running in Victoria.
It's going to confuse us a bit with every lane filled as well. And yellow singlets littering the track.
Oh, boy. Oh, no. A lot of Mentone.
Yeah, always big supporters of Vic Milers Club events. Sean Williams, who's squad out there, probably has a lot to do with that.
So Tim going through his vocal paces right now. He'll be ready to go.
Vocal exercises.
On your marks.
Start list.
And we are racing here in the men's E800 metres. And I think it's going to come from our middle lanes.
Maybe a Caden Murray or Lachlan Marasco of Diamond Valley or Doncaster, respectively. Maybe even on the outside, on the inside from Sandringham, Julian Horsey. Once again, could throw a blanket over the first few, but it would be Caden Murray from Diamond Valley leading the way. So it's a sandwich of the yellow singlets, apart from the green and yellow at the front.
Yeah, but they're similar. They're close.
Yeah. Okay. Sandwich of the green and yellow for our two Mentone athletes coming up the back of the field. But it is Murray, who has a seed time of 2 minutes. Looking the goods. He doesn't mind leading, as Crosby has just said over the speaker. Guy Frick from Collingwood in second position, and Lachlan Marasco
in fourth. 59, 60, I'd say, through that first 400. So the pace is on.
I'm going to need some work to do in the final few hundred metres. And Caden Murray continues to lead the pack around. Guy Frick, is he going to put his foot on the gas now? Lachlan Marasco's right there as well, as is Caleb Laker. It's a race of 4 out the front of the field. Caden Murray, he's led from the front. He's just extending his lead ever so slightly. Guy Frick, he's got some work to do now, but keep an eye on Caleb Laker.
Yeah, he's flying.
Caleb Laker goes from 4th to 2nd position in an instant. Caden Murray still leading, but has he done too much work early? Laker in the purple tights and the sleek Aeroswift Nike singlet. Laker. Watch this replay back. This last 200 metres is super, super impressive as he charges towards the finish line. Laker, Murray, Marasco will be your top 4. Frick and Kernahan to follow. 1:58. Goes sub 2 for the first time and pumps his chest.
He loves it. Well, he came second at our last Victorian Milers Club meet, and he got done right at the end. So he would have been absolutely starving for a win.
Good to get a win. Good to get a win. Good to go sub 2, and good to run a well-timed race.
Yeah, the final 200, as you said, was just textbook 800-metre running.
Watch that one back, ladies and gentlemen.
Arms up. Says who else but Caleb Laker was going to take that race out.
Okay, men's D, getting up to Pontian now. once again, seed time's around that 2 minutes again. So he could have probably made one big race of about 20 athletes here. They're also evenly seated.
There is a lot of chat going on in the YouTube comments section.
Yeah,
And
a lot
it
of
seems
chat.
like
Any of it?
On your marks.
Any of it valuable?
Yeah, they're all interesting.
Keep chatting though, please. Comments, feedback, suggestions, inside tips and knowledge.
Yeah,
It's all welcome.
if you've got any before I make another idiot of myself, I would really appreciate it.
Yeah, maybe inside tips to @Mitch Dyer on his Instagram. As Kai Davies leads his way around Lakeside Stadium. Not the first time he's done it, won't be the last.
26 seconds.
The athlete from the Mornington Peninsula leads the rest of the field, who is pretty tightly bunched. As we said, Kai's got his seed time down as about 1:57. The rest of them between that point and 2 minutes.
So he's not messing about. He wants to string this field out. He's seen the temperatures dropping. This is a very rare time where there's no wind at Lakeside either. So you can just get out here and absolutely rip it. And that's exactly what Kai Davies is doing. 56, 57. So the fastest first 400 we've seen of the night. And this pack now needs to get chasing because Kai Davies is looking pretty comfortable out there.
Charles Barrett from Collingwood and Seb Farrelly from Mornington are on the chase, as is Matthew Sostaric, a staple in the Vic Milers Club races. A few familiar names here in this race. Run a few 800s before. Is anyone going to catch Kai Davies? He's got a lead of about 5-10 metres on him. We saw a 3K indoor race the other day that was everyone assumed that they were going to have the lead and then someone came from nowhere. Is that going to happen again tonight?
Well, if somebody gives up an inside pass again,
That's
I
it.
reckon we might
know
see
the one.
it. So Kai Davies, he's leading it out. It's going to take something special. As you mentioned, Matty Sostaric starting to get moving, but we've got one from the back again. I think is that Harrison Boyd?
He's an athlete from Bendigo.
Here he comes, Harrison Boyd. So he is charging down. He's just found an absolute... Don't worry about the gear. He's ripped the gearbox out of the car, and he's gone bang. So here comes Boyd, and he's got it. 157. He's still going.
How's that?
Jeez. 820 metres and he's broken 2 minutes.
That's the replay you want to watch.
Oh, my God.
He's actually a 150 guy who just took it easy.
He thought, oh, yeah,
That's unreal.
I can actually run fast.
Not the recommended way to run at 800, I wouldn't have thought, but yeah.
Loved it.
You wonder how much extra you had in the tank.
Well, I don't want to say it. Mullets win races. I can't help but notice in the race that we were talking about as well, it was a very long-haired individual that got the win in that.
I was wondering where that comment was going. You know what they say.
Yeah. You know what they... Yep.
2 minutes seed time for Harrison Boyd. Pretty impressive. What a finish. I can't get over that. I want to see a replay.
Well, I reckon at about 150 metres to go, he would have been in 7th. So he's absolutely flown home like a rocket. And let's see if our women's D800 can follow suit from what we just saw of Harrison Boyd. So the women's D800, as you can see here, 8 women, all 8, unless my maths is wrong. No, all 8, right here.
On your marks.
And we're racing. So round 220, I've just heard the absolutely magical tones of Tim O'Shaughnessy say, not Tim O'Shaughnessy, oh, Mitchell, where is your head at? Let's just watch the race. Through the first 100 metres in our women's D800, let's see how they make that. I think it's going to be Rourke maybe. No, she's just been edged out by, I believe, Bella Ferry. So Fari's just going to absolutely spread them out. Let's go 31. Yep. A modest 31 to start off a 220 seated race, I believe. So Ferry going to try and absolutely demolish her PB, and Rourke says, hey, I would love a slice of that. So she gets right behind her there. She's got about 5 metres back to our next athlete that is from Wellington. And I believe that is Ada Hill. So Ada Hill going to try and bring the rest of this pack right up to Rourke. And in front of her is Bella Fari. So Fari leading out Rourke. Call that a 7-metre lead coming into the first 400. Look at the clock. That is 66. An honest 66 on the clock. On the nose, as some race callers would say. So Bella Fari and Rourke right behind her there. The rest of this pack's going to have to get moving, but Fari is not interested, even in the slightest, of giving up this lead. So Rourke behind her, starting to stretch it out a little bit with 300 metres to go. So Fari in total control right now. She's looking incredibly smooth. That backpack, I don't think, is going to be able to make up that gap, and it's only Rourke who might be able to catch her, but Fari is going to make that as impossible of a task as there could be. So 140, Fari. She's let it from the gun. Rourke starting to drop off just a little bit, but still within biting range to do something special. We saw in the last race, 7th to 1st in the last 150 metres. It takes something special to do that now. So Fari, she's been leading it from the gun, Bella Fari. I think she's going to do enough, but chasing her now is Natasha Rourke. So she's sat in second the entire race. Now's the time to grit your teeth and see whether or not you can take out the women's D800. Rourke just creeps up a little bit on the outside. It's still Bella Fari. Rourke goes to the arms. Fari's been leading it, and Fari's going to take it home. Look at the clock, 2:18. There's a few bodies under 2:20 for the first time. And Rourke has thrown everything at that, straight to the ground. And what a race in the women's D800. Bella Fari, gun to tape operator. Hard to do. But once again, a lot of women there have bought real estate in PB Town. Do you know, I actually change my Instagram name every 4 months, I reckon. And it just gets sillier and sillier every time. The women's D800 was an absolute cracker. And now, the men's C. Look at the haircut on Mitch Wilson. Wowee. That is one of the greater fades of a haircut I've ever seen. That is sharp. I can't get, I'm almost blinded by it, honestly. I can't look away from Mitch Wilson's haircut. So I'm going to have to try and look at something different. And another fantastic haircut out in the far lanes, I believe, is Harvey Anderson of Knox.
You don't just have to focus on haircuts as well. That's the other thing.
I can't not. I love
I'm going to have to focus on something different. It has to be someone else's haircut.
Yeah, it has to be something else.
Could be shoes. Oh, we talk too much about shoes.
We don't have eyes, actually. Yeah. We don't have to do this.
No, you're right. Yeah. You're right. Forget about the shoes comment. Where's Gav? But where's Gav Burren?
Yeah. You won't miss him.
Let's play Where's Gav.
If he's sitting down here,
no, he wouldn't be. He wouldn't be sitting in the front straight.
I reckon he'd be around the
1,500 metres.
1,500. Yeah.
Thank you, gentlemen. On your marks.
Where's Gav?
Just look for his shorts. Racing. In the men's C800 metres, there be quite, if not all of them, under a 2-minute time here.
Could be Finn Russell from Old Zavs in the red and black in the middle, looking good. Your boy Mitchell Wilson with this slick haircut on the inside from Collingwood, looking probably a little bit better. And Sam Bunnage also one to watch from Mentone. Is that him sliding his way into the front of the pack? Maybe it's
I think
our athlete Richko from St. Kevin's. Oh, I put my head down. And that's Finn Russell. Finn Russell charging his way towards the front of the pack. I believe Jeff Risley, coach athlete Jeff, will get Mitch's DMs and let us know anyway. There's Finn Russell charging his way towards the front. Sam Bunnage in the mix as well, and it is Patrick Reshko from St Kevin's sitting on Finn Russell's heels.
So Russell wants to make him work. 56 through the first lap. Let's see who can get. I know Rechko has a pretty good kick on him. He is a very good kicker. Mitch Wilson at the back, also quite a good kicker. And in the middle there is Harvey Anderson too. So these boys all have a lot of pace about them, and now they're starting to move. Sammy Bunnage now from Mentone. He's going to try and creep it up, but look at this. It's all Finn Russell.
Could he
right
be
now.
extending his lead? Harvey Anderson is working hard in trying to turn third position into second. Bunnage up on the heels of all of them, just waiting for his chance to pass. Finn Russell holding strong towards the front of the field. Harvey Anderson from Knox just leaning forward. I think he's trying maybe a little bit too hard as Bunnage comes up at the back of the four of them, but as Finn Russell just extends his lead. Is Rechko going to get him, Mitch?
I don't know if he is. These boys are flying as well. So Finn Russell going to the arms for sure. Bunnage chasing. Mitch Wilson has come from the absolute back of it to try and come through for third. But Finn Russell, look at the time on the clock. 153. He's going to go 155 here. 155. Finn Russell.
Unreal.
Take a bow.
Huge run. Huge run.
Bit of brotherly love down there. Sammy Bunnage gives him the tap. Says, well done.
Ex-schoolmates, I reckon. Well, I don't reckon, I know.
Here we go.
Look on the replay. Russell, he knows.
He loves it.
He's loving it. Can't contain his excitement.
I'm loving these low-key fist bumps. Everybody, just get them out. We saw Jack Rayner do a double cobra. Do you know how much arrogance and swagger you have to drop a double cobra? Guys, the world is open of celebrations now. Rayner has opened it up for everybody. Get it moving. I want to see some. Do you remember when?
Do you understand what a double cobra means? Not since Steve Prefontaine in athletics have we seen a double cobra.
Yeah, a double cobra in athletics. It's unheard.
There are no rules for celebrations anymore.
It's out the window. I think they went out the window, I reckon, in about 2015 or 16.
Not since Luke Matthews' antics.
He did the whatsoever at the Melbourne Track Classic. I would love to see more of that.
I've got ice in my veins. Has the door been so open in the world of athletics to celebrations post-race?
I want to see a big one. I want to see a massive one. I would love for Joel and Brett on their For the Kudos podcast to throw out some suggestions almost for celebrations.
That could be a new segment. I feel that they're still finding their feet looking for new segments.
Even in the comment section, tell us what celebrations you would love to see, because the double cobra knocked me off my feet when I watched it at Zatopek. And not a bad pacemaker, let's just mention.
Yeah, Abby Caldwell. She's run a few laps of this track at Lakeside Stadium. Knows PB Town pretty well. With Lakeside
Almost
views.
has prime real estate in PB Town. Abby Caldwell. So if Abby Caldwell is on the start line, where is Gav? If you don't know Gav Burren and you ever come down to a track meet and you're wondering, who is this Gav Burren that, you know, the boys keep talking about?
This is the one with the black T-shirt and the red shorts.
And red shorts. Pink shorts, black T-shirt,
looks
has an accent.
Looks a bit like that guy that played Batman.
So we're underway in the women's C800, and I don't think we're going to have any issues of Abby Caldwell getting her way to the front of this one. As I say that, we do have an athlete who wants to make it work. I think that's Tanner.
Declan Tanner. It is from Mornington Peninsula, but Abby Caldwell, she'll push her way towards the front as Tanner will relax behind her, we would think, in the next 50 metres or so.
Well, just take the benefit of the sit. Here we go. Abby Caldwell there and moving. So you saw that. You saw the little check of the watch, and Abby Caldwell's gone, oh, we better slow this one down. 30 seconds through the first 200 metres. So there's a few jumpy competitors behind her, though. They're ready to move around, which we love to see in the women's C800 metres. And I think that's an invitational athlete behind, and that is Fit. Yeah, so Julie Fit down at Box Hill. Abby Caldwell moves out. So a 400-metre pace job for Abby Caldwell, and Declan Tanner now on the inside, Fit on the outside of her.
Just showing the field that they've gone through a little bit too fast.
Yeah. We might have overcooked this one. But I would love to see what Declan Tanner can do here. So Fit on the outside of Tanner, and on the outside of her is going to be McKinley of Glen Huntley. So let's see how they get moving on the inside as well, tucked in really nicely. I think is, I can't quite see the bib number of the inside, but she's looking incredibly comfortable there in third place. So Tanner, Fit. So
No, that would be Amy Canavan.
Okay.
Amy Canavan from Eureka in third position.
She looks dangerous
Well, up on
right
Tanner's
now.
heels, but Fit leading the way in the black kit. Canavan moving up on the shoulder of Tanner and getting, she just get in that gap, or she aimed to go past both of them at once as she rounds the steeplechase and goes into the home straight. Fit, is she going to be too strong for a lot of them?
Well, Fit's got the benefit of the inside. It's Tanner who did a bit of the work there to sit right behind Abby Caldwell. We said, is she going to let her in? She only just let her in. Julie Fit. It's like a Geordie Beamish all over again. Julie Fit on the inside. Tanner on the outside. Oh, she's got the nudge. Oh, Tanner's just held her out. Fit just gets over the line there. 2:14 on the clock. And that was a tactical finish. That was a very tactical finish there from Tanner.
2:14. Yeah, let's have a look at the replay here. 2:14, PB of 2:16 for Tanner. That focus towards the finish line.
Oh, there's
Couple of
nothing in
seconds
that
PB.
there. I thought maybe Tanner moved a little bit to the inside,
Nah,
but I
you
think
can-
Fit thought it was going to open up.
You can see from that angle there, she just held that line right through the finish. Fit could have done it to Beamish if she really wanted to on the inside, if she had the legs in these last 20 or 30 metres or so. But another good race, another really, really close finish.
Very
Seen
close.
a few that have been literally a step over the finish line, half a metre separating them.
They've been crackers these last couple.
They have. And we're up to the B races already, Mitch.
Time flies when you're having fun.
Yeah, absolutely.
does.
We've we've got men's A at 8:07, women's A at 8:12. Both these races will have $300 for cash up for grabs. The Hyam family.
And Mick said he'll double it. He said that off the microphone a little earlier.
Yeah. Yeah. I'll double it. Yeah. Whatever. Yeah. Double it. Cinch. Double it. And then the mile championships, historic mile championships. Will Matt Hussey be the first to go back to back?
Well,
Since of course.
since the 84.
Since 84.
85.
Yeah, Mike Hillart back in 84-85 season.
That's great knowledge, Mick. You are.
I've been doing my research, mate.
We don't come unprepared here. Well, Mick doesn't.
And I think he has a red hot chance to go back to
On
back.
your marks.
Absolutely.
He's, I think he's probably the highest rated athlete in that field, and has been in good form, building into the season nicely.
Hey, we're in luck. I can see Justin Rinaldi down at the track, so he didn't
So,
hear us. With the whole bald thing, so that's very good news. The men's B 800 metres underway. Langbourne,
Lucky.
Mitchie Langbourne.
Can relax now.
Yeah, I can sleep tonight. Mitch Langbourne on the inside. He's known for his starts, Mitch Langbourne. Look at Felix Lonigan. This is what I've wanted to see all year from Felix. He usually sits at the back. He is a 400-metre specialist as a junior. Good to see him throwing the pace up there. And working well. I reckon that is his training partner as well from
Andrew
St. Kevin's.
Matheson.
Yeah. Hamish Bayliss as well towards the back of this pack. And we have a Team Tempo athlete as well.
Krenchek. Dylan Krenchek from Team Tempo sliding his way into third position in the flashy fluoro orange.
Mitchie Langbourne, though, happy
He
to
is
lead him out. Watch Felix. I've got a really good feeling about Felix Lonigan in this race.
Langbourne just throwing his body around the track, isn't he?
Oh, he's not letting him through at all. He just wants to hold this as long as he can. If you can get to that 200 metres on the inside of the track, you have a massive advantage. So he's just got to hold off a fast closing Felix Lonigan, and so too coming
Krenchek.
around there.
Keep your eyes on Krenchek. He goes up on the shoulder of Felix Lonigan.
122.
Looks to bridge that gap to Langbourne. I think Krenchek's looking the goods here.
Krenchek's looking incredibly strong. Langbourne, though, has pulled away a little bit. Felix Lonigan on the inside of Krenchek, maybe just testing him here. So Lonigan behind Mitch Langbourne. He's done it from the gun. Lonigan, he's pumping the arms. Can he get there? I reckon Mitch Langbourne's just done enough. And he's going to hold on, Mitch Langbourne. Look at the time on the clock.
151,
Very
152.
Whoa.
Wow. Woo. That's a B race. Wowee. I reckon that's a season best for Felix Lonergan as well. And I'd love to know Krenschek's time. I'm not going the Crow. I'm not saying it's a PB. I'm just saying season's best. It could be on the cards.
Langbourne. I remember Langbourne clearly running little athletics races. And now he's
out
leveled
here
up.
winning B.
Krenschek, 153. So he was thereabouts.
Yep. He'd be stoked to come down from South Australia and rock up to a Lakeside Stadium like this.
Yeah, 100%. Home of PBs. Lakeside views. Mitch Langbourne actually PB of 152. Oh well, yeah, PB season's best. Whatever you want. Felix Lonergan and Langbourne both 152s. So
There you go.
good race. You want good races at this stage in the season when everyone's just starting to heat up.
Oh, cracking race.
Looking for qualifiers, heading towards state and national champs.
Well, that's it. State champs, juniors at least.
We're already in race
weekend.
4. Race 4 of Milers Club.
It's flown by. To see Kat Bissett finish up her warm-up for the women's A 800 metres. But on the track right now is the women's B, and we have a familiar face once again, pacemaking on the outside there. So there's some good names in here. Humphrey, Flavelle, Ellis,
O'Brien
Mackerel.
as well.
Yeah, O'Brien, Lazari.
Staple names of Vic Milers running.
This will be fast. And I reckon it's easier to pacemake the higher races because everybody understands
On your marks.
the assignment almost a little bit better. So it might be easier here for a pacemaker to make her way around the outside as she gets right to the front now. As I say that, maybe it could be Lazari that challenges her a little bit. So too Flavelle. But I have a feeling Abby Caldwell's going to get there relatively easily. And Flavelle's going to tuck in behind her.
Genevieve O'Brien as well on the outside in the pale blue. Glenn Huntley, she'll slide her way into just behind Flavelle in second or third position. So it'll be Flavelle, O'Brien tucking in behind Caldwell.
So 30-31. That's, I reckon, exactly where you want to be. And maybe that's where Abby Caldwell was trying to get in the last race. And she's having it her way here. So is it going to be a 400 or 600 job? I think
400
yeah,
by looks of
400.
it, giving him a bit of space. Sky Ellis, the athlete from Chilwell, in the blue crop top, in third position as well. So it's Flavelle, Ellis, O'Brien.
Watch out for Mackerel as well. She's made her way around of the mighty Western A's. But
That's it. We've got Lazari in the mix, the athlete from Essendon. But Mackerel, you're right. Janae Mackerel making her way around or trying to get around O'Brien as O'Brien goes.
big on the turn.
She does. Flavelle is, well, I was about to say she's holding her lead now, but not for long as Sky Ellis charges towards the front with 300 metres to go. There's a bit of a pack forming as they start to shuffle around in positions on that back straight. Mackerel is getting up on the heels of Ellis.
Yeah, well, Mackerel had to do a lot of work. As I said, she went out to about lane 3. She's not against making a move on the corner, so I wouldn't even say our race leader here in Sky Ellis is safe. So Mackerel right on her shoulder there. Behind her there, Lazari. But it is Lazari in third. It's Mackerel on the outside. Sky Ellis has done a lot of the work. 100 metres to go, and we're starting to see our early race leader in Flavelle now come around the outside too. So Flavelle flies from the clouds. Flavelle moves around. It's going to be Lazari chasing. Mackerel did so much work. Flavelle almost said, you guys can have the 200. I'll take the tape. So Flavelle's going to come down, pump the arms. Mackerel behind her. Watch the clock. 2:11. Woo!
That's quick. That's
getting
getting
PB
quick.
town.
That's getting quick.
That's a mortgage in PB town. Wow. Happy to let them move past the 200 and just go, all right, girls, you sort it out.
There is some strong racing there from a number of the athletes. Just like, full tactical race.
That's just knowing your race perfectly. Perfect execution of a race plan. Also, Mackerel, like a lot of work around that 350 mark, able to hold on for a second. Lazari, Sky Ellis.
Yeah, great race from Mackerel. Lazari as well. And even Ellis, did a lot of the leading. Had to. You sort of got to make those calls when the race opens up, and probably not the worst option to take the lead for a little bit there.
No.
I've found Gav Barron, by the way. 800-metre crossover. Told you, back straight.
Yep. I can see
Just
the shorts.
side conversations.
I can see the shorts.
Men's A, $300 check up for grabs, and Mitch is putting in another $600
Yep.
if they break 2 minutes.
Yep.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be that much of a tactical race. They're going to go out too slow.
It's hard to come up with a rebut to that on the spot, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yep, I'll be donating that.
Yeah. And all
my
right,
check definitely won't bounce.
no, you'll put in an extra $50 if somebody does a celebration across the line.
If I see, I'll tell you a specific one. If I see a double cobra, is this Justin? Oh boy!
Oh, is he coming
Just
up here?
a Justin signing, everyone. So
is
we
it the
know
bold
he's not.
thing?
He's got a hat on.
Oh God!
He's got the hat on.
And what a field! Isaac Rosado, Will Lewis, he's back, baby. Josh Perdrasat, Adam Pike back once again for another race. Jack Atherton, Alex Gruen, Matty Goff, and Joshua Tram. I know Matthew Goff's coach, and I saw him post something like only a few weeks ago that Matthew Goff, the athlete from Glen Huntly, 5 out of 5 PBs. Like every race this season so far has been a PB.
That's
and it's like from 800 metres to 3K.
That's wildly underrated.
It's
What's he coming in with here, so we know what we're looking out for? I'll tell you what. I watched Perdrasat at the Victorian Relay Championships, and he dominated a 400-metre leg and an 800-metre leg in that day.
Coached by Liz Matthews, Perdrasat. 153 for Goff, and 152 for Perdrasat. Lonigan was in the other race. Will Lewis, 153.
Will Lewis, one of the best blokes in athletics.
Yeah. You just want to see Mitch to see Will do well.
Yeah.
On your marks.
I always want to see him do well. $300 up for grabs here. And also the prestige of winning the men's A 800 metres here at meet number 4, and they are flying. Perdrasat loves getting towards the front, and so too is Tram on the outside. So Josh Tram of Collingwood, Perdrasat, they're going to be the ones early, and Rosado as well, but Perdrasat maybe? Yeah, he's got, I don't know why I said maybe. He's got about a metre on him right now.
And our
So
in-state visitor and Jack Atherton making his way is getting up on the shoulder of Perdrasat. He doesn't want to lead, but that is the other figure there. Made his way all the way from South Australia to, not to come last.
Pay for his flights, mate. He's trying to pay off his flights.
Yeah, exactly.
I like what Atherton did there. He didn't want to get to the front, but he did not allow Perdrasat to slow down too much. And this is an unfamiliar 800-metre tactic from Adam Pike. He is notoriously a slingshot operator, but he's going to get right on the heels of Atherton, who now goes to the front. And let's make a race of it. 55 seconds on the clock. They are moving. Throw the blanket, which would be inconvenient, but you still could. Will Lewis towards the back. Perdrasat dangerous there in third. Let's see how they get shaping up down this back straight.
Lewis going around on the shoulder of Tram, and he's getting right up on the athlete Rosado from Eureka. Is he going to get past Perdrasat as well? Will Lewis in the yellow singlet on the back straight, moving his way into second place, but up the front is Atherton and Pike. Look how quick Pike's legs are moving. He doesn't just pass, he passed strongly. 2, 3, 4, 5 metres. Is Atherton going to let him get away that easily? He's made the trip over. Is he going to hang on? Looks like he is for now, Mitch.
Yeah, you cannot spot Adam Pike even a centimetre because he knows how to finish off. But Atherton now comes on the outside. He says, I'll show you how we do it in South Australia. So he moves past the fluoro operator and Pike. And Atherton says, thank you very much, Jetstar. These flights are for free now. So he comes down and claims at 151. Pike, Will Lewis. And
Matty
there's
Goff.
your man. Now, there's a PB again, I reckon.
Probably would be there
Matty
about
Goff.
Perdrasat, Tram, Rosado.
Now that's how you finish off. Atherton smiling down this front straight. So Matty Goff, I reckon he's going to go 6 from 6 here.
Could very well do.
Great to see Will Lewis come through for third place as well.
Atherton is wrapped. It's a bodysuit for me.
Yeah, it's the, yep.
It is a bodysuit for me.
Would you ever wear one?
Oh, okay. I didn't know where that question was going. Would you ever? Jeez. Would I ever wear a bodysuit? For the right occasion, yeah. For a race?
Yeah.
No, I don't think that's the right occasion for
Maybe
me.
a beer mile.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, something like that. No, not for me, but like clearly it works, and probably, you know, the 2 lap or under type distance. You know, we know the half tights are getting a real run in distance running now. Especially long distance running. Marathoners are going the half tights.
I'm not on it.
You know, half tights for a marathon. Could bodysuit be seen in a 5K at some point?
You know what? The Spanish guy, Katia.
Oh, he does too.
He rocks the bodysuit.
Well, there you go. You've just answered my question.
He started the trend.
Okay, just polling.
I did a salute for a celebration when I ran a race.
Oh,
We'd
there
love
you
that.
go. Yeah, give us some more feedback in the celebrations or also bodysuit chat.
Yeah.
We'll hear it all.
Should we commentate the next one in bodysuits, even though nobody can hear it?
Oh, you can see it.
Hold on. They can
I feel
hear
like Hamish and Andy wearing their tracksuits. No one can see what they're wearing.
It's all about the vibe.
Yeah.
So our women's A800.
We're looking for a bodysuit sponsor, is what you're saying.
Yeah, if someone wants to fish us some Athletics exclusive bodysuits, we will wear them.
We'll put your logo on them.
Yeah, whatever you want.
And when we get back to doing interviews,
it'll look weird.
Yeah.
But I almost think at the last Vic Miles it should just be a race. Me, Mick, and Tim.
Tim.
Just the commentators to see who's going to call it. I don't know. If anyone wants to throw their hand up, I'm very excited.
I'll tell you what I'd be keen to do one day: jump in one of these races with a roaming mic. Yeah, just get a real insight from the
How
inside.
you doing, Mick?
Not a race, not a race that we're legitimately seeded for, but like a race that
just get in
like
there.
a race that's, you know, below
Yeah.
our ability at the time, so we can actually do some roaming commentary within. Thoughts? Yeah, we've been given a nod from our producer.
Oh boy,
I reckon that'd be real fun.
So it is, as Tim's mentioned, the John Hyam 800 metres. This is an absolutely loaded field. Robinson, Hall, Bissett, Caulfield, Bunnage, Landon, Kitching from New South Wales. Two Olympians, two Australian. No, does Jess Hull have the 1500 record now? Or has Lyndon got it back? Well, if either way, either a current or former Australian.
Yeah, they've been so back and forth.
Yeah.
I feel bad for not knowing who the current. We would say the current leader because whoever's got it won't hold it for too long.
I think but I don't know whether Lyndon got it at the Olympics because she ran a flying time there. But I think it might be Jess Hull. We have our pacemaker back.
Jess Hull.
Jess Hull.
Yeah, so she's the current.
On your marks.
Linden Hall, 1,000 metres, and Katrina Bissett, PB, and Australian record of 158.09. A couple of weeks ago at the Zatopek, she ran a 2:01 to open up her season.
And looked really, really impressive. And look at this start from her right now. She's probably tapped Abby Caulfield and said, hey, let's make this quick. And because she's put about 10 metres into this field through the first 100.
But into Lyndon as well,
yeah,
who's a class runner.
It's not a slouch field. This is an absolutely elite field. So Kat Bissett, she's blown the cobwebs off last week, gone through a 27 high through the first 200. Lyndon Hall now playing catch-up. She's like,
she's got the strength, she's got the endurance. She'll make up the distance in her own time. But Kat Bissett still a 5 to 10 metre lead. Abby Caldwell, I wonder what pace she's been told to go through that first lap. We maybe should have had that intel. But we'll see momentarily.
I reckon a 58.59 through the first 400 metres. Kat Bissett looking so strong. Abby Caldwell just moves out there, lets her go through. Listen to the crowd. They know what they're witnessing here. 57, 58, here we go. So a 58.59, Lyndon Hall on the 60, and so too is Robinson behind her there. But it is a race in Kat Bissett, and Lyndon Hall just stalking a little bit away. Former 1,500 metre Australian record holder, current 800 metre Australian record holder, and Kat Bissett out in front, 300 metres to go. Nick, Kat Bissett looks class right now.
She's used to time trial, and we've seen many, many races where Bissett has time trialled. Her first Australian record was a time trial. And she's doing it again tonight at Lakeside Stadium. Second race of the season. Lyndon Hall, absolute class runner, but making it look like a club run for Bissett.
This is fast. I reckon Kat Bissett has gone under the 130 there through 600 metres. So here comes Kat Bissett. She's got 100 metres to go, 1:45 on the clock. So in the realm of possibility to break down that 2-minute mark again here for Kat Bissett. As Mick mentioned, it's been a little bit of a time trial. She goes to the arms, watch the clock, 57, 58, 59, oh, just on it, 2 minutes 26. Hey, welcome to 2022 and welcome to February, Kat Bissett.
And
wow.
Hall, Green, Robinson to follow in a quick women's A 800 metres.
Wowee. That is also very close to being evenly split.
It's amazing as well. Like, thinking tonight, we're sort of thinking that Bissett will come along and run round about a 2-minute 8. But like for Milers Club races, it's like, oh yeah, we'll just see a 2-minute 800 from the women tonight.
Pretty casual.
And Lyndon would have run like probably about 2:03 maybe then as well, which is like quick. That's a solid season opener.
Yeah.
But then all the other girls like just behind, like 2:05, 2:06, 2:07, like
under
in
2:10.
Milers Club's gone past. Like to see any of the women go under 2:10, it's
remarkable.
a little bit rare. So we'd like to see the results come up in 5 minutes or so. But such a strong field overall.
Really, really strong. Women's running in Australia at the moment is in very, very good hands. And that was just a dominant performance from Kat Bissett. Obviously must have had a very good plan there with Abby and said, hey, this is exactly where I want to be and I want you to get me there. And by all accounts, I mean, maybe, obviously, was thinking, I might be able to go under 2 minutes. But to run 2 minutes is your second 800 of the year. 2:01, 2 minutes. Following that progression, it's going to be a fast year for Kat Bissett. Already fast. And as you said, Lyndon Hall starting off her season.
Yeah, starting off the season. But still a strong run.
What, 2:03?
2:03.
I'm going to guess. 2:03.
Yeah, we'll say, I was about to say, we'll guess 2:03.
Also, newly moved over to Puma.
I did mention that Puma, like, good on Puma. In other news,
well, they're
building up their list, aren't they?
Yeah, they just got Pat Tiernan
over in the US.
Yep.
Obviously, the Gregsons both signed maybe about
Jude Thomas
6
as well.
Yeah,
up in Queensland.
No, they're
Sammy Tanner.
You appreciate that.
It's good to see some of these other brands getting some really good names. I reckon maybe the ones who have really set the tone for it is that On Athletic Club over in America.
They're next,
so you got
aren't they?
You got them there for us.
How's the indoor championships? Only recently with On winning maybe 3 of the events, I think. The men's mile, men's 3,000, and I think there was one of the women's as well.
3K, I think.
Yeah. Sage.
She hasn't lost.
Yeah. But yeah, it's really cool just to see, such a diversity of brands. Adidas as well. Yeah. I know this isn't a sport marketing segment, but Adidas with Pete Bowl and Eloise and a few others recently as well.
Rory Hunter and Jai.
Yeah. It's cool. It's cool.
It's
good for the sport. So times, the first five athletes across the line with 2:05s. So Katrina Bissett, 2 minutes flat. Lyndon Hall, 2:04.05, so almost 2:03 like we predicted.
Real close.
Rebecca Green, Amy Robinson, and Hayley Kitching, 2:05s. So to see that, top 5 athletes under 2:05 or under in the Milers Club.
That's fine.
Pretty unreal. But conditions as well. Like, it's not obviously great runs.
Yeah.
We've got conditions here.
Yes.
What it is, it's probably maybe 25, 26 degrees, barely any wind. Sun's just dipped, so no direct sunlight. 25, 26 degrees, 28 degrees if you don't mind. Here in Melbourne right now, 28.
Yeah, look, it's not cold, but it's cooler than it was.
Taking the women's race in just over 2 minutes. So big congratulations, Katrina Bissett, the John Hyam $300 award winner for VMC meet number 4. So let's get together, do the happy snaps. So now an entrenched part of Milers Club meet number 4 in conjunction with the Mile Championship is the John Hyam Awards, as I said, in memory of one of our legends of middle distance running, the late and great John Hyam. So thank you to the family once again, and Athletics Essendon represented by John Cooper. So don't go anywhere, because the next event will be the Men's Victorian Mile Championship. Will we please have Mark Rowley at the finish line? Mark Rowley, please come to the finish line. So please have Mark Rowley board to the finish line.
Just take the picture of the people with the banner and enthusiastic support it.
Guys, that's the start line. Okay, he's going to introduce you. That's fine.
Right, so we now move on to the 106th running of the men's Victorian Milers Championship. We do have a special guest who is going to welcome our field. He is an Olympic 1500 metre runner, Mark Crowley. So Mark, make your way out here. Let's introduce Mark. I'm going to embarrass her a little bit. Mark, what was your 1500 metre PB? 4:01. 4:01.34. There's some of you boys a couple of years ago weren't running that. So the great Mark Crowley, representing Athletics Essendon with great honour many, many years. And what we're going to do, Mark, you're going to come onto the line here. The boys are going to walk out as introduced. Maybe COVID safe, the way we introduce the field. So let's go, the 106th running of the Victorian Men's Mile Championship of Victoria. A who's who of winners over the years, including greats like Landy, Elliott and Hussey. So let's move forward, introducing our field. Another South Australian, we saw a Raider commentate the 800. Let's introduce into the Victorian Mile Championship from South Australia, Adam Goddard. Representing Old Melburnians, Alexander Angus. From Western Athletics, the title holder going for 2 in a row, not been done since Mike Hillard in 84-85, Matthew Hussey. One of the big improvers of 2021-22, representing Peerless and Burners, it is Jacob Bell. Also from KSB, one of the dynasty from the Stokers family, it is Patrick Matthews. First of our brothers in this final, we haven't had brothers in this for a little while, it is from Old Scott, Ed Baisha. Representing Knox, another big improver over this season, it is Reece Hatfield. Old Scotch as well, 5K champion in the under-20s, Tom Bowers. The beautiful Wellington colours and white shorts, that's brave. It is one of the legends of middle distance running in Victoria, Craig Huffer. Now one of our junior sensations, already got a couple of the under-20 qualifiers. He's here to play tonight, Wolfgang Kocha-Namisi. Great to see the Ivanhoe colours back in this Victorian Mile Championship, and that's going to be represented by none other than David Gregg. Second of the brothers, the younger one, Ben Baisha from Old Scotch. Talking about Mike Hillard, he wore those St Stephen's colours with pride back in the 80s. And that's just what our man Christopher Dale is wearing from St Stephen's. Chris Dale, Station 15. And Randy Applefield, pacemaker with most, representing Casey Cadinia, it is Lockie Hurd. Let's get the action going.
Yep, now I have them. Gentlemen, up to a metre behind the white line for me, please. On your marks.
So our 106th running of the men's mile championship. That's weird. Tim and I just both
Will
said that at the same time.
Will Hussey do it back to back for the first time. First time in many, many, many years since 1984/85 season, and he settles into the front of the field. They're pretty bunched up. And it's probably not because they're really, really seeded. It's probably because it's going to be a hoot out. As Craig Huffer gets around the shoulder of Huss, Huss just settles in, which, yeah, probably good for Huss, but...
I loved the ambition of Huss, though. He got to the front and tried to slow it down.
Yeah.
And that international experience, and Huffer went, hey, I've run this race before, mate. I'm not interested. Look at Huss just gets straight on the back of him now. So
maybe
Huffer
this is going to be a ding-dong battle, race of two. But Huffer is one of those athletes who has been. You'll see him pop up at a race every couple of years for whether it be nationals or states or something big.
Yeah. And
he's never quite I remember Craig Huffer. Nah, he's always going to be around. And he's always going to be a class athlete, someone hard to beat as he goes for that first lap in a 61. He's here to run a sub-4.
They're going. That's about a 4:02 mile.
Now, Hussey's building into the season really nicely. He's run a couple of good 15s. He's run a great 8. He belongs right on the heels of Craig Huffer.
He's definitely been the class competitor of this field over the summer. But Wolfgang Koch-Messi's had some World Junior qualifiers. But if you look at it over a broad spectrum, yeah, Hussey deserves it, DJ Husdog. It is right behind Huffer. As I said, they were on about 4:02 mile pace through the first 400 metres. So the mile is 1,609. So you really... The way that some people say you run it is you run a 1,500 and hope that you can hold on for the final 109. And Huffer would have run a few of these in his time in the States. Hussey's obviously won one of these before last year, as we said, trying to go back-to-back. And it's going to be Baisha, Bowers, Hurd, trying to lead this next group of athletes back. But they've already blown out this gap right now. There's a 150... Geez, let's call it 2 minutes through 800 because you've got to try and pick it between there. And they're looking strong.
They've at least negative split, at least even split, if not even negative split a little bit, getting slightly faster on that second lap. 2:01 for 2:01 for the 800. Check out the train of athletes behind them just for the race that's forming for that third position. I think we can call it this early on with about 600 to go.
They're flying. Huffer and Hussey are flying. This group now has the benefit of all being able to work off each other.
2:31, so they are going to be very low. 4 minutes, and they've both got the potential to kick down. As we said, Hussey's run a couple of good 8s so far this season. Craig Huffer just has the experience to run mile after mile after mile race.
Hussey looks so dangerous right now. He's right on the heels. He has not spotted Huffer an inch. After starting the race trying to slow it down and make it a kicker's race, you would think there's a reason why he must back this in. As you said, 800 PBs all through the year. Craig Huffer, he pops up out of nowhere and he's going to try and put Hussey on his back. 3:03, so they can close. Huffer just gripping the rail there and Hussey on the outside. 350 metres to go. Christopher Dale going to try and lead this next group through, but here comes the class of Matty Hussey.
The mighty, mighty Western athlete. 300 metres to go. Goes bang. He was just waiting. He did look comfortable. Don't say goodbye to Craig Huffer just yet. He's a class athlete and he's going to sit on the heels of Hussey for as long as he can. But Hussey is striding out. We look back momentarily to the back of the field. Bowers, Baisha, Dale, they're all there, they're all charging, but back to the front of the field, and we have Hussey bridging a gap of 10 to 15 metres now on the class of Huffer. 120 to go. He's looking at the clock. He'll be low 4 minutes. Probably won't crack the 4, but it doesn't matter. He's going to go back-to-back in the Victorian Mile Championships, Mitch. First time since 1984, since Mike Hillard did it.
Well, Hussey's going to come down and greet it. He's going to run about a 4:04, which is phenomenal. Give us the salute, Hussey. Does the double fingers, twirly time. Huffer's going to come through for second. We're going to see Baisha settle for third in the Victorian. We have our South Australian athlete in front of him there. Back to back, baby. It's Drizzy Drake on the track right now. So Husdog takes it out.
He doesn't
and
go.
He just waited. He bided his time. The 800 metre wheels just kicked in. All respect to Craig Huffer. He made that race what it was. 100%. It would have been an absolute kicker's affair. And you'd probably back Hussey in the kick no matter where he is.
Check out the strength of Hussey trying down it straight. He doesn't go double cobra. Not that ambitious. Didn't want to be the copycat, but the double fingers twirly time. Love it.
Love that. I've never seen that before.
Love that for Hussey.
So Hussey back to back.
Back to back, baby.
And will we see a back to back to back next year? Can't wait to see what he's got in
store. We'll be hearing it for the next year anyway.
Oh, yeah. The Husdog. 4:05.32 is what stopped the clock there.
As the Western Athletics group chat just goes wild.
Yeah. It starts to blow up now. I can see your phone going off. Well, Hussey's... I think he shocked a few people with that 800 at the start of the year when he dropped to 149 and everyone went, oh, hold on. He has some serious wheels. He's obviously just put them on display there and put, I reckon, a few blokes on notice and gone, I've run some 8s. You don't think I can do it over the distance? Well, I just destroyed the Victorian Miles Championship.
Absolutely.
Watch me in a few months. The Huss dog loves it. And the boys are around him. And the nicest man in athletics, Will Lewis. Of course he's there.
The boys, they're there.
Of course he's there. Well-earned win there. And let's see who can get it done in the women's A mile. The Mile Championship of Victoria. I'm unsure if this is the 106th running of the women's. I'm sure Tim will tell us.
It's only very recent. We'll wait for Tim to tell us the exact stat, but I think it's under the 20-year mark that,
Really?
that the women's has been a Vic Mile, because there was quite a gap even in the men's for a while between the running. I think Vic Mile has actually revived it a number of years ago. It was something that lay dormant for quite a while, so I don't think there has been all that many runnings of the women's championship.
Well, I think it was Lauren Ryan who absolutely blew the field away last year in the Victorian Mile Championship. She went gun to tape. Be interesting to see how it's run here. Melissa Duncan in this race. Jeffcoat. So Jeffcoat, an Olympic triathlete. And a lot of juniors as well. So that we're going to get on display a lot of really good junior athletes.
Emma Hogan as well. She's a an up-and-coming triathlete. Quite a talented runner for Glenn Huntley.
It's now on the 19th running.
19th, there you go.
There you go, I was right. I had that in the back of my mind, tip of my tongue, but I don't know. Usually
20.
I just say stuff and I'll commit to it, but I just didn't worry there for some reason.
Which one you want to be wary?
I was like, no, I don't want to get that one wrong.
Yeah, well, let me tell you, as someone who's got a few wrong tonight, it's not a good feeling. Leaves you embarrassed.
So let's go for our field in the championship race for women. In Station 1, representing the Glen Huntley Athletic Club, Tanasha Santosh. In Station 2, representing Melbourne University, Ali Benson. Station 4, in the famous Geelong Guild colours of John Landy, it is Tess Rhodes. Station 5, representing South Melbourne, Rachel McGuinness. Station 6, from Bendigo University, Tully Rowe. Station 7, the only woman in this field to have won the Victorian Mile Championship. We do welcome to Lakeside, Melissa Duncan. Station 8, she is the triathlete par excellence. It is Emma Jeffcoat. Station 9, representing the Diamond Valley Athletic Club, Shania Murray. In 10, from St Kevin's, Cleo Richardson. In 11, she's just turned 18 and been partying the whole week, I believe. It is Lucinda Rourke. In Station 12, also a great triathlete, but a great track runner, representing the famous club of Glen Huntley, it is Emma Hogan. Station 13 from Old Scotch, the marathon runner, Vanessa Wilson. Station 14, also from St Kevin's, it's Bridie Hill. Station 15, it's great to welcome her back to Lakeside. Famous for the steeple, but also a great middle distance and distance runner. From Melbourne University, Rosie Donegan. And 16, from Deakin, Jess Jason. So good luck. 15 starters, Women's Victorian Mile Championship.
Thanks, ladies. Walk up to about a metre behind the white line.
And we are on women's A mile, Victorian Milers Championships for 2022, the 19th running of.
And this is a good field here, Mick. I'm really interested to see how they pan themselves out.
Rosie Donegan, Mel Duncan, Lucinda Rourke, 3 of them up the head of the field. And they will be the contenders in this Vic Mile Championships, as the field is quite bunched together. Emma Hogan in there, the triathlete from Glen Huntley. So Mel Duncan, we do expect Mel Duncan to take control of this race once it gets into the 2nd and 3rd lap. The athlete from St Stephen's just sitting in 3rd position right now. That could be Eleanor Benson as well, who's right up the front actually.
So Rourke right on the outside of Benson, Duncan on the inside of her, Donegan on the back of that as well, and we have our Glen Huntley athlete tucked in right behind there. So it's certainly nicely bunched. It's not quite going the same way as the men's in that Huffer just went, I'm just going to take it, and if you guys want to follow, then come Sue. But it is going to be, maybe it will be Lucinda Rourke who might try and push it along. Rosie Donegan, a really, really good steeplechaser in her day. And she's coming out here. She wants to come and get this mile championship. So about a 73, I would say. If you, it's a great guess between there.
The line.
It's a great guess between there. But nicely bunched. And you almost don't want to be in this middle section. I reckon Melissa Duncan's got herself in a perfect position in 3rd on the inside of the rail. Jeffcoat behind her there.
Yeah, Duncan will have time to get out when the time comes. Right now, if she wanted to get out immediately, she would struggle, but things will open up if she just sits there and waits. We look across the track right now, and the athletes are only spaced across 10 metres or so. The view on the screen is actually deceiving.
It's not much.
Everyone's going 2 or 3 wide. The space from the first athlete to the last athlete. It is going to be a bit of a shootout. Which I don't know. Does Mel Duncan have the 800 legs, or is it more an Eleanor Benson thing?
Could be a Benson. Benson might have the wheels. I mean, Melissa Duncan has been back racing. She's been at Vic Milers Club, I think, nearly every meet, and she's certainly just been progressing through the season, coached by Gav Burren. And Rosie Donegan on the outside there. I reckon she's a real danger. Lucinda Rourke, who got a bit of a rough introduction. I think she's very fit. As we just saw Melissa Duncan break her way out of that. So she's now moved out to lane 3 and thought, okay, now's the time. Maybe she doesn't quite have the kick. She needs to make this hotter with 800 metres to go. And Duncan now right on the shoulder. And who's following? Rourke, Wilson, Jeffcoat, Donegan. Here we go.
Emma Hogan from Glen Huntley as well. She's known as the triathlete, but she's hanging in there as well in 5th or 6th position. But it is Rourke who just stays on the heels of Duncan, and they're going to bridge the gap pretty quickly on the rest of the field with about 600-700 metres to go.
2 class competitors here, obviously very different spectrums of their athletic career as well. As we heard, Rourke's just turned 18, so she's definitely just making her way up to the seniors, and Duncan coming towards the later 20s. So Duncan going to try and teach the youngster a few things about running a mile. So Duncan going to try and stretch out Rourke. Jeffcoat going to leave the next pack, trying to chase them down. Duncan looks strong out in front, but Rourke, she's got the benefit now of just being able to tuck in behind. Doesn't have to think. Now she just has to look at the heels and go, all right, I'll try and keep these as close to me as possible. 450 metres to go. Duncan to the arms. Rourke tucked in really nicely. Where we're going to hear the sweet, sweet sound of the bell. 3:39 on the clock. It's go time.
Rourke ran a World Junior qualifier for the 1,500 metres only at the last Milers Club. She's a strong runner. She knows what she's doing over 1,500 metres. She's got the legs over the longer distance as well, as does Duncan. She just has to hold on. This last 300 metres is going to be super interesting.
Melissa Duncan, she's absolutely kicked it up a notch on the back straight. So now Lucinda Rourke just has to try and grit her teeth a little bit. Don't let that elastic band snap. 200 metres to go. Melissa Duncan starts to flex the muscles. So now she's 5 metres, quickly becomes 7. Might even buy her 10. 200 metres to go. Melissa Duncan, well, she's just going to show the experience and the expertise of having done this on a global level. Lucinda Rourke has been admirable in trying to stay on the heels of Melissa Duncan. But is this where we say hello to Melissa Duncan in 2022? 100 metres to go, and that's quickly become a 20-metre lead. She comes down here, the 19th running of the Victorian Mile Championships. It was Melissa Duncan. It is Melissa Duncan, and it always will be at the 19th running. Melissa Duncan takes it out. Look at the clock, 4:45.78. That is a moving mile as we see Lucinda Rourke come through there. So too now Emma Hogan, Jeffcoat, Rosie Donegan. And those were probably the 5 that you pinpointed at the start of the race, and they've finished in relatively that order. But what a phenomenal race. Melissa Duncan gets it done, knows how to win.
She does, she does, she does. Class runner, showed her class. As we said, very, very admirable run from Lucinda Rourke as well. And impressive from Emma Hogan in 3rd position.
Well, Lucinda Rourke put herself with every opportunity. Like, she went after Mel Duncan. She didn't let her go.
She almost did what Hussey did, but just didn't have the
just didn't
the
quite
wheels
that,
in the end.
It was almost a replica, wasn't it?
Because
you saw Huffer
one following
and
the other.
Hussey, and the old head got the win on that one. But great racing. Mel Duncan does have that really good range. Obviously spent a little bit of time over in Japan as well, running in that environment, which is very, very different to Australia. Running for a company over there and doing a whole lot of longer races. But, yeah, Mel Duncan, she's been looking really good this year. So I'm really keen to see what she can do over a really solid 1500 in a really solid field.
Well, just missed out on, didn't run at the Olympics. Would be, I guess, hoping for a spot at either the Commonwealth Games or World Champs this year. Bit of a unique year with the 2 championships. It will be interesting to see who, I guess, doubles up at both, who might do, say, maybe a 1500 at one and 5K at the other, or who might just say, yeah, let's do a 1500 at both if they can qualify. Qualifies is another thing as well. You know, the European season will be more accessible to people this year with international travel and less restrictions over that. So, it'll be quite an interesting 3, 4, 5 months coming up leading into Commonwealth Games and World Champs mid-year.
So 405.3 for Hussey, 408.2 for Huffer, 409.9 for Goddard, and Baisha was 3rd there in 410.41. And our men's B mile, a field of
Victorian
19.
bronze medalist representing Old Scotch, Ed Baisha. Our bronze medalist, 3rd position in the race. From South Australia, Alan Goddard. Our silver medalist, representing Wellington Athletics, Craig Huffer. And our 2-time Victorian Mile champion, representing Western Athletics, it is Matt Hussey. So congratulations, Ed, Adam, Craig and Matt, medalists in the men's Victorian Mile Championship.
Right, Mark, do you want to get beside him and take a photo?
Let's move on to our women's presentation. Our bronze medalist representing Glen Huntly, it is Emma Hogan. Presentation once again being done by Olympic 1500 finalist Mark Crowley. Our silver medalist representing the Williamstown Athletic Club, it is Lucinda Rourke. And our 2-time Victorian Mile champion representing St Stephen's Harriers, it is Melissa Duncan. So congratulations Emma, Lucinda and Melissa, our medalists in the Victorian Women's Mile Championship. Okay, let's get the action going again. Rolling the miles. The next one up will be So this being on the track with me is being mild. It's a full field of 19. Don't know how that happened, but anyway, we'll introduce the field once they are on the way. So big field 9, semi-toll will be pacing. He's in the non-stop pacer singlet.
Pacemaker going about 205.
So you can go from the 800 around 205. So that's setting a nice, decent pace.
Gentlemen, you're going to be introduced while you're running. We're about to start. On your marks.
So we're underway here in the men's B Mile Championship, and they are flying. I think we've got a pacemaker in red, but we've got someone pointing to the crowd. What is going on here? Well, is everybody? It's party time in the first 400 metres of every race. So anyway, our pacemaker's made it there, and Kane Shields, our unattached athlete, is going to tuck in right behind. Who's in third from Glenn Huntley? Charlie Rogers. Charlie Rogers has saluted in the first 50 metres of the race. So I really hope for Charlie Rogers' sake he can come home like a steam train and win this thing. Because if you're saluting with 1,550 metres to go, you're either going to win or you're going to look stupid. I can't wait to see which way it goes. But Charlie Rogers in third, good runner. So there's a fair old chance he could win it. Kane Shields tucked in behind our pacemaker there. And I think that's Albiston. Yeah, Sam Albiston of Mentone is going to try and latch on. Johnny Portwood going to try and bring this back onto the heels of Albiston, or just try not to lose contact himself. But let's see how they move through. So they're going through in about a 60, let's say 62, 63. So Kane Shields more than happy to tuck in behind the pacemaker. Charlie Rogers, I might start calling him Cheeky Rogers at this rate. Cheeky Rogers is in third. Albiston there, Johnny Portwood, and on the back there is one of our Ballarat athletes. So this pack is spreading out. I would hate to be, is that Ned Reeves caught in the middle of no man's land right now? So he's got to make a decision whether or not he's going to get right up on the heels or whether he has to settle back and hope the rest of the pack can pull him through. But our pacemaker's not mucking around. 134 on there. Kane Shields more than happy to get behind him there. And so too is Cheeky Rogers. He's stuck in a little bit of no man's land at the moment. Albiston going to try and bring him back. Johnny Portwood. And we'll try and get a read on who this is from Eureka behind them there. But it is all Kane Shields. Cheeky Rogers going to try and make his way. He's got a very loping stride, does Rogers. But Kane Shields, mullets win races. Said that early in the night. As we see our pacemaker step off 2:05. So they're not mucking around. And that is going to be Ben Ludbrook right behind Johnny Portwood there. So let's see whether any of these boys towards the back can start to move through. It's nicely spread out. Charlie Rogers now has his work cut out for him to reach Kane Shields, who went right behind the pacemaker, got the benefit of the sit, and now it all becomes very, very real once the pacemaker steps off the track. But Kane Rogers, he seems to love reality, so he's going to try and keep that 10 to 15 metre lead. He's stretching it out. Cheeky Rogers, Johnny Portwood getting around Albiston, and so too Ludbrook behind them there. But it is all Kane Shields right now. He's been doing a lot of the work, and I think he's going to have to do a little bit more of it as that 10-metre gap quickly becomes one of about 15. Charlie Rogers behind there. Albiston back over the top of Johnny Portwood, and Ludbrook behind him. So 500 metres to go in this 1,609-metre event. And Kane Shields has looked like the man in control. But Cheeky Rogers, this is the man who did the salute 50 metres into the race. He's got about a 20-metre gap back there. Has that spotted him 20 metres? Let's find out. Kane Shields, 3:10 on the clock. He's going to get moving. Cheeky Rogers starting to look at the ground. Albiston, Portwood, Ludbrook, as we start to see the rest of the field move through too. But I think it's going to be Kane Shields. He's starting to stretch. Oh, no. We see Cheeky Rogers do the inside left look. That cannot mean anything positive when that happens, but let's wait and see. I'm more than happy to be wrong. So Shields, Lee's going to try and move here. Rogers, Albiston behind him there. Portwood looks at the ground. Ludbrook too. Shields done a hell of a lot of work. 200 metres to go. It is Kane Shields still out in front, 3:42 on the clock. Rogers comes through in a 45, so he's got 3 seconds to make up over 200 metres. Shields starting to grit his teeth a little bit there. Rogers starting to move. Albiston in third place, so too Ludbrook. I think Johnny Portwood's wheels might have fallen off, so Shields, 100 metres to go until he's the B champion here in the mile. He's going to go to the arms, he's going to pump him. Here comes Cheeky Rogers. He's going to try and get up on the inside. He's pumping him a little bit harder than Shields. He's bided his time well. Shields gets his right look and he says, not today, cheeky boy. I'm going to take this one out. 4:15, 4:16. Albiston will probably come through in a 4:19. A flyer on the outside there was, I believe that's our Glenn Huntley athlete in McFarlane. But wow, Shields gun to tape. Rogers. I said you either look really good or you look really silly if you salute in the first 50 metres. He still looks good.
Looks all right.
Yeah, you'll take second. Good racing, though. Shields knew his game plan, and you know what? I hate to say it, but he turned his head to the right. There it is. Turned his head to the right and figured it out. He had to go on left. He would have been done. And there he is. Loves it. Right behind him there was Rogers. Albiston, a great finish. On his right says, whoop, better get the stride going. He didn't just get the stride, he got the afterburners. And the B mile. Kishmash. Almost lost my voice at the end of that one.
Yeah, it's you did. Got a bit much for you in the end.
Yeah, I did overwhelm.
What a race though. They keep coming. Women's B mile up next, and we go all the way down to the women's D, the dash for cash actually. So if you want to see, what we got 15, fifth field of 15 in the women's D miles.
For the dash.
Rented it out, dashing it out for $100 cash, and then we've got men's G mile to round out the evening at 9:48 p.m. So women's B mile on the track now.
This will be a cracker.
The women's B mile on the line will introduce once the race starts.
Rocket, I haven't got a green yet. Thanks, ladies. On your marks. Stand up. Toes behind the line when you come up.
The old 1,609 metres. The one chance everyone gets to run it each year.
Yeah. They don't come often.
And we have Zoe Woods charging her way towards the front of the field with Rachel White of Doncaster getting in front of Woods. So it's White, Woods, and from Williamstown, Piper Gay. They'll be a top three leading the women's B field around in the mile. Likes to lead. Rachel White, head of the field right now. Piper Gay, the small figure from Williamstown, just sitting on the heels of Woods. Alexandra Bucky Smith from Melbourne University is there as well in the top few. So still pretty tightly bunched. Girls almost going out to the third lane wide. There's just a wall of athletes up the front. White, Woods and Bucky Smith. Piper Gay just sitting on the heels. Saskia Lloyd as well, running comfortably, the athlete from St Stephen's. Going through that first lap in just under a minute and 20 seconds. So it'll be about 5:20 and 5:30 or so for the mile. So Bucky Smith leading the way now from White, from Woods, should I say, as White just slips back into fourth position in the field. Piper Gay enjoying her third spot there up on the heels of Woods. Bucky Smith, Woods, Gay, White. 600 metres through this 1,609 metre race. as we said earlier, run 1,500 metres and try and hang on for the last 109 metres. The only problem is you probably should run a 1,500 metres by running a strong 1,300 and hang on for the last 200. So it's really run a strong 1,300, hang on for the last 309 metres. Bit of carnage towards the end of the mile, especially if you don't run them too often. And Bucky Smith. Actually, should I say it's Amy McCormack? I've been calling that wrong for the last 2 laps. Apologies to Amy McCormack, who leads out Woods and Gay. White is still in the mix, slipping into 5th position. So the runners do start to string out now. Woods holding strong in 2nd position, but it still is McCormack. Takes a lead of 10 metres, probably extending her lead as Piper Gay gets up on the shoulder of Woods and passes strongly, slipping her way into 2nd position, chasing McCormack. A long train is forming across the back straight of Lakeside Stadium. As the lights are on and the bugs are out, it's still 27 degrees here at the track in Melbourne. But not a breath of wind. 500 metres to go. McCormack holds that lead. About 15 metres across the rest of the field. She'll definitely looks the goods to take out this B race, but there's still a lap to go. And Gay is looking strong in 2nd position. She's cracked a smile with a lap to go. Good way of just feeling relaxed. And that looks like Orla Shackloth in 4th position. She's chasing Woods, who has held that position up the top of the field all through that race. So Shackloth is bridging that gap into Woods, but McCormack from Melbourne University now 50 metres ahead of the rest of the field. It's her race, just a matter of how fast she'll run over this last 250. So back further in the field, it's McCormack, Gay, Shackloth just passing Gay, 200 metres to go. Woods holding on strong, trying to consolidate the last 200 metres of her race. White in 5th or 6th position. Saskia Lloyd passing White and working her way through the field. But let's look back up the front of the field. It is McCormack. Solid run. She's been in the mix from the very start of the race. 50 metres to go for McCormack. Piper Gay going to get back 2nd position off Shackloth, who made a late charge. It is McCormack in a swift time of 5 minutes and 4 seconds. Gay, Shackloth, the athlete who we haven't mentioned so far in this race, Imogen Baker, Hannah Rushmere, Woods, White. So women's B mile here at the 4th Victorian Milers Club meet. First race at Lakeside Stadium for Milers. Ooh, I don't even know I don't think there was one last season. Maybe in the season before, maybe for a few years.
I reckon 2 years.
Yeah, I reckon 2. So it probably is.
We put our brains together. I reckon it's 2.
And men's C mile coming up next.
Field of 16. Similar looking pacemaker out there from the last race. Is that, looks like Sam Tanner. Loving these big shorts. Hold on.
They could look like him. Wouldn't be.
Wow. Who is this in the fluoros?
So it's our
I can't
athlete
believe
from
they're
Eureka.
allowing. Is it Charles Chandler?
Yeah, maybe, I don't know. We're just thinking back to our days of scary call rooms in junior athletics.
I remember having to, rub out the Nike logo, with black texture and stuff.
The tape in the call room. And
it was the most stressful thing
a
ever.
little bit more lax at Milers Club races. Which
we love for the men's C mile race.
Love that for the lads.
There is some early speed coming here, and I actually think it might have come from the pacemaker. Nah, we settle into it now, and it is going to be Charles Chandler.
He's making a statement early on, not just with his pace,
No.
but also with
Fashion
his kit.
sense too. I think his parents might be, or family might be watching this, and he's like, just look for the guy in the pink shorts.
Yeah.
That will be me.
if you're having trouble finding me, I'll be the guy with the pink shorts.
I have a feeling I'll
But
be the
which
only
guy?
one.
No, the guy with the pink shorts.
No, trust me, I might be the only one. If that is the case, hello to Charles Chandler's family.
Yeah.
He is in the pink shorts in third position, if you're curious.
Brett Ellis, the athlete from Williamstown, he can't wait to take over this pacer. The pacer's been given a job to do, but Ellis is saying, I can probably do a better job.
He's chomping at the bit to get around the pacemaker. So he's around. He's not just chomping, he's around. He's about a 64.
Rate a pacemaker, though, that just he has a job to do and he does his job. If
Let's
others
go.
want to pass you, well, pass me. This is a pace I'm setting.
Yeah,
For
this
the
is what I've
field.
been asked for.
Yeah.
This is what I'm going to give you.
And if you don't maintain this pace later in the race,
Yeah, it's not my fault.
yeah, it's not me
Yeah.
that you're looking for, mate.
Yeah, because then otherwise, if you go around him and they're like, oh man, it was too fast, it's like, well, maybe that is my fault. But he's just sticking to it. And look at the rest of the field. They're more than happy. He's almost a part of the race now. So it's not like they've gone so far past him in Brett Ellis that he's gone, I didn't even need the pacemaker. He's just sitting in front of him.
which is a bit confusing in itself, isn't it, as a general tactic? But anyway, we'll see how this pans out. It's got me super interested now. Not that I wasn't already.
Yeah. Not that it wasn't until now that I've been really switched on to this race. He's going to go back around.
It's fascinating, the tactical plays. So Alice, Chandler, Tommy Morris is in the mix as well, the athlete from Glen Huntly. Few Glen Huntly athletes. I mentioned that coach earlier from the Seaside Track Club, Matty
Yes.
Goff, Cheeky Rogers, and Tom Morris, another athlete from Glen Huntly, all in the mix now. 67, so around about a 4:30 mile.
Yeah, Seth Chan going to try and bring through also Ty Davis behind him there for Essendon. So this pack of four working really well, and they've finally let him get to the front here, the pacemaker. So Ellis is maybe just gone, yeah, probably worth him being in front.
Probably they might be onto something with this whole pacing thing.
This pace guy might be able to help me out maybe a little bit. So Ellis behind him, Chandler behind that.
I know
Now,
Brett
baby
Ellis,
blue.
traditionally a bit of master of the longer distances rather than the 8s and 15s. So
Okay.
it was probably, just bit antsy.
It's a learning
So,
process.
Yeah, maybe. So it is the 1, 2, 3. Ellis, Chandler, and Morris. I wonder how long that pacemaker's going to hold on for.
I
Is he?
swear it's Sam
Is
Tanner.
he?
Look at the screen as we come down. I don't know whether they're going to get a close-up here, but... Oh, it's got big Tanner vibes. But Ellis is there, and it is also Morris now. So he had the benefit of sitting right at the back. 1 lap to go. He hears the bell, and he goes, ding-a-ling-a-ling, let's make this a win. So he's going to go right around Ellis, who you said is a longer-distance athlete. Chandler in the pink shorts settling for third right now. He's going to try and work his way around Ellis as well. But this elastic band, if it hasn't snapped, it's right on the fringe of it. And it is going to be Tom Morris. He doesn't work for the AFL. He works on the back straight. So Tommy Morris now, 250 metres to go. He's going to start to stretch the old noodles. The left in front of the right, doing it quicker than anybody else in this men's C mile. And he's got 200 metres to go to be crowned the champion. So Morris now just keeps on extending. Only Charles Chandler might stand a chance of getting near him, but I think even he's a little bit too far away to put the pressure on. So Tommy Morris is going to come down 100 metres to go. We've seen some of these Glen Huntly boys do celebrations early. Let's see whether or not Tom Morris can contain himself to the end. He just puts his head back, gets the arms pumping and says, I want to try and crack under the 425. And he's going to go really close, but just over as it ticks on 425, 426. And that's a reserved winner.
Yeah,
no
that's quick.
celebration,
That's quick.
just
No,
over.
I could have. I was gonna say it's Tommy Morris is not a celebration man. I would have been pretty surprised if we saw a
He dropped
double
one.
cobra or the finger twirly jam.
Oh, I might walk into work tomorrow doing the double cobra. This is
More a finger twirler myself.
the double finger twirl. Don't
Yeah, the
forget.
double single.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
The double
single.
the double single.
Well, one on
finger
each hand. The
twirl, yeah.
double single. Yeah.
Well, good win from Tom Morris there. Bode.
Yeah, very good. These are some videos that the squad would like to and will be watching back. And
Yes.
some impressive racing from that little Glenn Huntley squad.
They've just all been really well paced.
Yeah.
That's been one of the most impressive parts.
Brett Ellis as well. Confident at the start. Still closed pretty strong. Don't know what his seed time was, but
he wasn't
good to kind of tuck back in behind that pacer at that point as well.
Yeah. We got Sam Prime, the pacemaker, or is she an invitation?
No, just pacemaker coloured singlet.
Yeah.
She got a number. Got a number, not a pacer.
So the women's C and Claire Hogard out there too. Two good friends there.
Women's C. I got a feeling that this timetable has just been switcherooed, and that is exactly what the starter is
I think the
discussing.
starter's gone, unless one of you is named Ranveer Gurja and a male, you might be the wrong race.
Unless one of you guys is named Andrew Lego.
Is Lego running?
Yeah, he's on next. No, he's meant to be on now, so I'm a bit confused by his timetable, but there might have been an issue with, I don't know, maybe athletes in the men's D, and they go, women's C, all right, you're ready, off you go.
Maybe they're all just walking about, they're not quite there.
Yeah, but, you know, race time's race time. Like, men's D mile, 9:06.
You're not meant to
Are you here, 9:06?
Yeah.
Anyway, well, I'd like to get to the bottom of that one, actually.
We'd
But
like
anyway,
some
for
answers.
another time. Yeah, we would, yeah. We would like some answers.
We would love some answers. Here we go.
Also looking forward to the women's D Dash for Cash coming up as well. I hear there's a bit of a celebration as well from some of the Glenn Huntley runners in the women's D. 90th year since the amalgamation of the women's Glenn Huntley Athletics Club. Now they're consolidated as one overall club, but they were women's and men's years and years and years ago. A bunch of the women from the club are celebrating by running the race all together and dashing for cash, $100 each. Not $100 each. 100 $100 up for grabs.
Oh boy.
So yeah, that will be a point of interest later on.
Thanks, Jimmy Whelan, for the kiss smash and the love it, Mitch. I'm trying my best at. I'm only as good as my co-host, so he lifts me up. Nothing without Mick. Let's focus on the race, though. Let's focus on the women's C mile championship.
Focus on the race, but I also can't take my eyes off this comment that says, very rightfully so, Jacob Ingebrigtsen uses the bodysuit for his 5Ks and 10Ks.
Oh, he does too.
Yeah.
So he started it.
I mean, yeah.
He did it before the Spanish guy. For sure.
Before Katia. Yep. As Sam Prime and Claire Hodgart go 1-2 through one lap of the Women's C Mile Championships.
I know Lachlan on the inside there has the benefit of the rails sit. And it's Poppy O'Loughlin. But Claire Hodgart. She's going to try and stretch him out. Sam Prime right behind there. And still Poppy O'Loughlin. That's where you want to be. Where Poppy O'Loughlin is, that's exactly where you want to be.
In the number 3.
A little mover from Mornington Peninsula. It's either Freya Brown or Kate Seibold.
It's not too busy. Not too busy in third or fourth right now.
No.
Claire Hodgart, another traditionally distance-based runner. Loves the cross-country, loves the half marathon, loves the longer distance. And she's showing her strength right now, but...
I think it's Lenny Williams behind him.
And it's the athletes in third and fourth position that are probably just laughing their heads off right now, just enjoying the sit.
Yeah. Just going, hey, keep it up. I'm loving where we are
actually, none
right
of them
now.
are laughing now. I'm looking, laughing internally, of course.
Laughing
is a state of mind.
Yeah. Grimacing on the outside, but laughing on the inside. They're having fun. That's the most important thing. Look at this move here coming from Da Costa Alves. She's got right up on the inside of Poppy O'Loughlin there. So she worked her way through about 3 people somehow through traffic, just got her way through. And now she's tucked in right on the rail, but it is still Hodgard?
Hodgart.
Oh, dude, I'm struggling with that name.
Hodge,
so
DG.
hard. Sammy Prime, right behind her there. And I believe it's Lenny Williams tucked in nicely. We have our Ringwood athlete making her way around there as well, which is Erin Mariner. So they've all sort of just waded towards the back. As you said, they're internally laughing on the inside. That's exactly what's going on.
Interesting race this is panning out to be, isn't it?
And is that Julianne Undrell?
From Collingwood?
Collingwood.
Yep.
So she, and again, sort of sat at the back. So wow, okay, now we got Lenny Williams coming back again. So this is just a game of cat and mouse at this point. Yeah. Sam Prime's been the only consistent figure at the front of this race. Everything and everybody else has completely swapped around.
DaCosta Alves.
So it's actually Ashman. So this is Rose Ashman, as a matter of fact, out in front. So Ashman, Prime, Undrell, DaCosta Alves. There's your 4. 3 of them starting to bridge a little bit of a gap, but it is Ashman. Rose Ashman, Sam Prime, 4:12 on the clock. Undrell not far away. Now we start to see a little bit of a move from Mariner. So these are all names we've sort of called throughout the race, but in about 40 different orders, and they seem to be working it out now. I reckon watch out for Mariner in 4th. She's made a really good move from the midsection of the pack, and now she's going to try and really work her way up there. But Sam Prime on the inside, call it the outside of Ashman.
She's looking the goods.
Sammy Prime knows how to win races, and here she goes.
250 metres to go, almost 200. She's extending the lead. She's got strength, and she's showing her experience here at Lakeside Stadium. The athletes a bit further back in the field are shuffling around as they have done in the race up until this point, but it is Prime making a lead 10, 15, even 20 metres as she enters the front straight in the women's C mile.
Wow, what a kick down as well. So Sam Prime has just absolutely left them in her wake.
Kate Seibold from Mornington Peninsula, once again, an athlete that we didn't even mention until very early on, has made her way into 2nd position.
Woo! Sammy Prime, what a flying final lap. That was incredible. She was in total control there. As I said, she was the only staple figure at the front of that race. Everything else just seemed to be absolute carnage behind her. Absolute swings and roundabouts going on in 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th, all the way through to 7th. But Sam Prime takes out the women's C mile.
And it looked like that was Freya Brown, actually, who made her way into 2nd position.
Freya Brown, there you go. Another name, though. So hold on. Now we need to get this right. We're going back to the men's D mile.
Okay, just to be...
It looks like they're down there.
Just to be clear. Imagine if they just didn't get their race. They're like, oh, well, we missed you. Sorry.
Sorry, boys, you've missed it. We really wanted you to race. A pretty big field. So the men's D mile get their moment. Oh, I was about to say in the sun. Under lights. They get their moment under lights.
Which, conditions. Looking at that, Vic Milers and the Athletics Victoria flags around the stadium, they're not even fluttering.
Which is what you want.
Not even a flutter. Oh, actually, there's a bit of a flutter. Just moved a bit. Oh yeah, I mentioned the coach before of the old Glenn Huntley boys. Doesn't mind the name Cheeky Rogers.
You liked it?
Yeah.
I reckon it suits. Not that I know, Charlie.
No, I do, and it absolutely suits. Like I said, one of the other lads, wasn't a celebrator.
Yeah.
Rogers, cheeky is an apt surname.
I'm glad I
nickname
could fill in the gaps for Cheeky Rogers.
Yeah.
Look at the again. The pacemaker's got his work cut out for him to get to the front. I can't tell if we've got 3 pacemakers or an invitational athlete, pacemaker, an invitational athlete. Because I think that's what's happened.
I think it's invitational, pace, invitational.
Way to make things confusing.
And the D race is after the C race. Like, come on.
I think there's 2 pacemakers.
Hip number, no hip number.
So this is our first man in the green.
Okay.
Interesting.
All right.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. So they're not.
Oh, is that Patrick? That's Patrick Matthews, who ran in the men's A mile. Just having a bit of a training session, a bit of a roll round. I guess you don't get through the men's A championships, without putting in a few laps around the athletics track.
So I think Nathan Davies is leading our actual race, and that's in the green.
The actual race.
Half tights. Yeah.
Oliver Burns from Williamstown is following Davies. And Matthew Blaschke from Mornington, I believe, in 3rd position. We'll have to double check the old hip.
I reckon you're
when
right.
they come around.
I don't want to do the crow. But I think you're right. So our two pacemakers.
I mean, what a luxury.
Yeah.
How lucky is...
You would always think, though, if you've got 2 pacemakers, you've got one at the front and you've got one then leading out the strung-out field.
By the way that this race has panned out, yeah. But maybe if the race didn't pan out this way, then
you'd look silly doing
it. And what a treat for Davies.
I think it's Hudson Rigg. I think that is Hudson Rigg.
Okay.
And then I also think is it Dane Gray, possibly? Yep, Dane Gray of Glenn Huntley. Coming through now, but the Glenn Huntley athlete ahead of him must be Chambers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is.
Yep.
I didn't say it with confidence. As we see the host of For the Kudos podcast, Brett Robinson, walking down the stairs.
Dave McNeil on there this week, I'm pretty sure. I was talking to Joel earlier. He was pretty excited about that.
I wonder if the boys will take our suggestions for segment of the week.
I really hope they do.
Segment of the week, celebration of the week, should I say.
Greater celebration.
And bodysuit chat.
Yeah, I'd actually challenge Joel or Brett to have the bodysuit on.
For the next race.
The way to take it, to the next level for the podcast. It is the #1 sports podcast of the week.
Brett
on Spotify.
In his next marathon, Joel. Well, Joel is a triathlete. He's used to the bodysuit. So Davies, commanding lead over the field as our second pacemaker. Is he going to hang in there with the lads?
I think he is. Has he got a teammate or somebody in there? He must.
Maybe.
He's chatting to the field as though willing them along. And Ranveer Gurja
Hudson Rigg in second position, just enjoying the sit on our pacemaker, who, looks like he's going to go the full...
He's going to try and drag him up to get to Nathan Davies.
Which, he's moving.
It's a big ask.
He is closing that gap. I just don't think he'll have enough time.
He's almost going to step off here. Like 200 metres to go. It's time to step off.
Will Rigg get Davies?
Yeah, good.
Good, very well. That's...
mate, that is
going to be
like watching a cycling race and you let your hill climber just fly right now. So watch this. Hudson Rigg has had the benefit of the sit. We just saw Nathan Davies do the Cardinal send. He did the left inside look. So Rigg's done it again. So Rigg's going to come on the outside. Davies has done all the work. Rigg, geez, he had the pacemaker drag him a while. Davies says, you should have made him drag you a little longer because I'm going to take this one out. 4:41. He deserved it.
The commentator tipped him off.
Yeah, he must. He can't be doing that.
Yeah.
Hey, that comes from the top.
And what a flood of athletes. Lego.
Chris Brown. Ranveer Gurja.
Okay, now let's back to this timetable. Now we're skipping the women's C, which was just run, and going to the men's E by my calculations. Men's E, men's F, women's D, Dash for Cash.
Dash for Cash.
And the men's G mile, all coming up in the next half hour. Don't go anywhere.
Do not move.
And if you're in the area, come on down.
What is going on here?
So I'm just going to ask a question to the creator here, Lachlan Rayner. Is it possible for people to donate to Athletics Exclusive through the YouTube page? If so, it looks like Tom Forster has generously donated Mitch's wage for the night, $2.99.
Wow, he's doubled it.
So thank you very much, Tom.
Thank you, Tom. Hey.
And he says, Chammy, you gun.
Who is Chammy? Whoever he is.
Someone else said Chammy.
Go Chammy.
Oh, that was
Tom
Forster as well. So Tom, Chammy.
Imagine if there was no decimal point in there and Tom Forster put up the prize money.
What do you mean?
$299 if there was no decimal point.
Not $2.99, $299. Yeah, he's actually the generous donator of the A races.
Yeah, he's chipped in.
He's put forward the check. Anyway, thanks, Tommy. That's that's unreal.
We love your work, Tommy. So the men's E. E for, here we go. Here's a massive dad comment. E for excellent. E for exciting. E for engaging.
Yeah.
E for enormously spectacular.
Yeah, E for...
Oh boy. Nearly broke the chair.
Gentlemen,
okay.
we're about to go.
Got too much energy. Oh, the pacemakers are back again.
Double! It's training night, boys.
Kish mash.
Here we go.
So, as they get settled, it looks like, as they have many times tonight, the pacemakers just trying to find their position. Don't tell me it's three pacemakers.
No, they can't be. There can't be three pacemakers.
Could be John Good.
If there's three pacemakers, that's outrageous.
Yeah.
All three of them are just going kishmish, and they're going to try and really... Nah, there's one in the middle. We've got an athlete there.
Could be invite athlete. Jackson Wright, Flynn Horan. Let's just take guesses until we see the hip numbers. Then it will provide you accurate data. That is Jackson Wright sitting amongst the pacemakers. So it's almost like they've got the, well, if you include Wright and now two pacemakers, they've got a bit of a Kipchoge V going on around Oliver Anthony of Essendon.
Oh boy.
He's laughing the most in the field.
There's a lot of laughing
just
going on.
Internal giggles.
Yeah, there's a lot of internal.
Yeah, just subtle confidence.
He's so protected.
Yeah.
He's incredibly protected.
Yeah, it is just interesting. Our second pacemaker and just what he is exactly doing right now. He was very beneficial in the last race, helping out the
I wonder who
trailing
help
athletes.
This time.
Yeah.
Well, they're looking very, very spread out.
Yeah, right. It's Wright and Anthony are once again. They're laughing. They're laughing at the front of the field with their two pacemaking mates.
Oh my God!
But there is a bit of a gap further back in the field. But we've been tricked so many times tonight. Our athletes from Melbourne University.
I think that's David Drenton
and Jude McGarvey as well.
Here we go. There's a lot of chat going on from this pacemaker. I absolutely love it.
Yeah, pacemakers sort of shuffling around positions.
Be a good workout for our man in red, which I'm still convinced is Samuel Turner. But whoever it is, good workout for him.
I'm not saying you're wrong. I just don't think you're right.
I wouldn't back me either. Let it be known. I wouldn't throw my support and weight behind what I've had to say tonight, because I was already called out by four-time Olympian Jeff Risley And he was in another
say
continent.
dreams do come true. You can't get a PB at 51.
Yeah. Could have let me have the fairy tale.
Yeah. You can break 147.
Yeah, well.
No context for most people listening right now.
201 was close to a PB.
Yeah.
It's only 100 metres. Look at this. Now it's starting to... They've actually got their own individual pacemakers.
Love it.
Right
Imagine
now.
if you had a whole race set up like that.
That's the dream.
So Jackson Wright, Jackson Wright, the invitational athlete, who is enjoying the pacemaking duties of Patrick Matthews in the blue singlet. From Essendon, Oliver Anthony is sitting in, well, Tanner maybe, for a second pacemaking job.
Fake Sam Tanner.
Who is going to step off the track right now.
He's been doing a lot of 1200s.
Wright, Anthony.
Patrick, he's more than happy to lead these boys out, and a lot of chat. He's saying, come on, let's go. There we go. He bailed out a little earlier this time, and now, well, I was going to say it's a race in two, but he's been set up incredibly well to win this race right now in the men's E-mile championship.
He has. It'd be surprising if anyone other than Jackson Wright nabbed the win in the men's E-mile. Oliver Anthony has run a solid race all the way through, but there is a fair gap from him into the athletes from Melbourne Uni in third and fourth positions.
So Jackson Wright, he will salute and salute quite comfortably, I would say. Set up incredibly well.
Actually salute, like physically salute?
I want to see the salute.
I don't think he will.
Come on. My God, could you imagine if he did salute? I'd be buying a lottery ticket. Comes down now. That's a really, really good effort there from Oliver Anthony. And here comes David Drenton as well. Look at this flyer of a finish.
From Doncaster Athletics Club, Tariku Nashchev. What a sprint finish. Wish he went from a lap to go, even 2 laps to go.
Out.
Yeah. Put the burners on with 100.
Here we go. Our last competitor coming through here for the men's E-mile. 5:24.
Thomas Lynette from Ringwood. Oh, 15th birthday for the winner of the last race. What a way to celebrate.
Tim's got it all down. I don't know everyone's birthday.
Yeah, he knows when he's hurting.
Yeah. He knows what you've done through the week as well, apparently. I hope he hasn't been watching me. Oh, boy. Mitch in the commentary box tonight. A lot of McDonald's. A week of McDonald's.
Actually, yeah. Ooh, haven't talked about Macca's tonight, but
we haven't. Because I'm waiting on the sponsorship. We can't keep plugging it.
Yeah, it's true.
We need to pick up something.
That is true. South Melbourne Macca's is nearby, though.
I'll see you there.
Well, we shouldn't keep talking about Macca's, but all I'm saying is that it's not far away.
If we want the Macca's,
then we should get it.
I'm not against it.
Going 75. 75, 76. Thanks, gentlemen. We're about to go. On your marks.
So the men's F. We actually have a change in pacemaking.
Yeah,
only the red singlet.
We still do have 2 pacemakers, and it's a couple of athletes in the white singlets just charging their way towards the front who are a bit antsy, want to get that good, quick start. And we haven't mentioned this tonight, but in a mile, have you ever run a mile?
Yep, I've run a few.
You're a college boy, aren't you? I forgot about that.
I ran a few over in America.
So I reckon with a mile, I don't reckon, I know. You have to get such a good start because before you know it, you're wrapped around the bend.
Yep.
For an 800, you're in your lane for the first 800, first 100, happy days, you got your own space. 1500, you got your full front straight. The mile, like, you got to wrap around
You
the bend
funnel
within
quick.
30 metres.
Yeah. You want to get on that rail as fast as you possibly can, because to be running wide, even in the first 100, you're right, and you're around the bend, you're cooking your legs. It's even worse. The worst mile to run is a heavy field on an indoor track.
You've done a few indoors?
Yeah, they were brutal. Because it's obviously 200-metre banked track, and you are just fighting for every position.
Yeah.
And they're always strung out. Like, you never run in a pack on an indoor track.
Yeah.
So you've got to try your best to get in a good spot early.
This is insight we could have used when we were hitting like the 500 viewer mark about an hour ago. But,
but here it is now in the men's F mile. This is where we...
People still tuning in
This is where I talk about my
listening back.
NCAA time.
Great
Late
bit of inside reminiscence.
Nights with Mitch. Just learn about the NCAA experience.
Probably Max. Ooh, is that Max Luke or is it Baden Westerweller?
Westerweller.
You're going to go.
Why? Just because it feels like a Westerweller.
What makes you say that?
A Westerweller
because you think it is, or
front,
or because you're guessing?
No, I'm guessing. It's a strict guess. It's a straight up guess. I'm not going to lie to you. Let's see if it's. Am I right?
No, it's Max Luke.
Oh boy.
I'm going to go Max Luke.
Who's behind him though?
Number 11 in Robert Jones.
Okay. Yep, that tracks. So these guys are nicely strung out. The pacemakers now both at the front. Patrick is loving his time as a pacemaker, I think.
Oh, and his the athletes on the track are loving him as a pacemaker. He's doing a great job. He's like, it's the support as well. It's the look back. You're good. We're doing the right thing. Yeah.
The man might be a pacemaker. Make good
Well,
money
he
out of
is.
that in Europe. Always looking.
Yep.
Oh, that's an early step off for him.
Yeah, I think the first one he did like 1,300, then
maybe it's a training partner dependent role.
Maybe, but he runs for Keele St Bernard's, and I haven't seen anyone from Keele St Bernard's in these races. So I could have let you have that.
You could be onto something.
I could have just shut up and agreed with you.
No. If I'm wrong, I want to know. Otherwise, I'll come to the next one and make the same stupid comment. So here we go, leading him out here with 1 lap to go.
Max Luke, Robert Jones, our invite athlete from the Vigor Running Club out at Collingwood.
And that is Westweller. That is Westweller.
And so Billy Schwingler.
Westweller in third. Vigor Running Club has 2 in this race as well. So Westweller behind them there. 300 metres to go. Who's got the kick?
Luke Jones and Weschweller are our top 3 athletes. I'm thinking Weschweller looks pretty good as he's been making his way up the field. He's got momentum going as Luke just says, nah, forget about that. It's all me.
Don't worry about that.
Stop with your speculation. I'm just going to widen the gap on my Collingwood teammate, Weschweller.
And find the gear too. He is just absolutely blown it out. Westerweller might be able to peg it back. You wonder, Luke gone too early or not, but I reckon he's bided his time pretty well. It's going to take something. And do not write off Jones behind there in third in getting over the top of Westerweller. So I think Luke's going to be able to hold on to it. But don't be shocked if Jones comes on the outside here and makes an absolute meal of this second. But here we go. They're starting to ramp up, but I think they've left it a little bit too late. So it is going to be our man here who's going to take it down. Watch the clock. He's going to go under that 450. All 3 of them are, I reckon, or maybe just going to drop out of it is going to be Jones. But great racing there.
The
well
other Vigor athlete in Billy Schwingler, by the looks of it.
You know what's next, Mick?
Oh, the women's D mile. The dash for cash. And the celebration from, how many Glenn Huntley women do we have in this race? We have 1, we have 2, we have 3. We have 4, 5, and 6 Glenn Huntley women in this race.
Yep.
Celebrating the 90-year anniversary of the Women's Glenn Huntley Club. Of course, as we mentioned earlier, the Glenn Huntley Club is one club, but for years and years did exist as 2 separate men's and a women's club. So 90 years specifically since the women's club has been running, and the ladies thought they'd celebrate by running a mile all together, and what better way?
Oh, I
maybe by running
a drinks, you get dinner, you get mile championship.
For me,
that's where we want to be.
maybe running a 5K. I think I prefer a 5K to a mile. But I'm one of those weirdos who think that might hurt a bit less, but
give me the mile.
And dash for cash.
100 smackaroos on the line.
So Katie Ward, Ruby Saunders, Summer Albertson. There's some names to that might figure.
And we love it. We got some supporters down here for the Glen Huntly women. As you mentioned, celebrating 90 years. They're obviously under the same banner now, the Glen Huntly Athletic Club. But what a moment. A few familiar faces as well from Vic Relay Championships. They're consistently racing and competing. And as you said, Mick, what better way to celebrate than a mile?
Ladies, we'll get you started, and once you're running, you'll be introduced. Can I go then?
We've had to get Tim off
Thanks,
the track.
ladies.
He's that
On your
excited.
marks.
Yeah. Trying to do pre-race interviews. I hope this will be a real tactical affair for the dash.
Oh, you'd love to see.
Just like really just all the runners just bunch it up big time.
Yeah.
And have a real shootout at the end, a sprint finish.
Oh,
but it doesn't look, it looks like
boy.
our athlete Ruby Saunders from Ballarat YCW doesn't like that idea.
I've come from Ballarat.
Yeah,
Oh,
pay for me
tactical.
pay for me petrol at least.
$100.
$100
Oh, that'll
should do
cover
it.
it. Oh, that's got to be a motivator, I reckon.
Petrol.
And Macca's.
And Macca's.
Yep.
And the entry.
Yep.
I reckon you'd have a
make it
bit of
free.
change.
Yeah.
I reckon
make
you'd
it
have a
free.
bit of change from that. So she doesn't want to muck around and waste any time.
Well, she's certainly not doing that.
If she thinks she's, in a good position to dash for the cash,
Go get
we'll
it.
dash for it.
Yeah.
Just dash for it.
Just dash. Dashing is encouraged in this women's D mile. And in fact, rewarded.
With cash.
Yeah. With some nice cash.
As we see a couple of our Glen Huntly athletes
Well-
in that pack.
So that's Fiona Noble wide and leading it. Is it?
Yasmin Ostick-Smith from St. Stephen's is in the mix as well. She's
Abby
in second
Kenny.
position. Abby Kenny, you reckon? She's in the mix as well. Did
Yep.
she raced in the 800 earlier tonight?
Did she?
She did,
Well,
and now she's back for the celebration.
She wants the cash.
She wants the cash, and she wants to celebrate the 90 years.
Oh, that would actually be great. I would love to see that.
Okay, so Ruby Saunders, confident at the start, and now, we have Abby Kenny who's making her way through the field. And it'll be interesting to see Ruby, will she settle into the pack and hold her form for a little bit, or has she gone a bit too hot too early? Time will tell.
Yeah, we got a few laps left. And look at this. It's a Glen Huntly 1-2 right now. So Ros Walker behind Abby Kenny. Oh, no, Fiona Noble behind Abby Kenny. 5 metres between them. As we mentioned a few times now, it is the 90-year celebration of the Glen Huntly women. And they're all in this dash for cash, going for the $100 and going for the celebration of the club. Obviously, they're all now under the same banner. We got 2 of them flying the flag at the front. So Kenny would, I'm sure, love some help from Fiona Noble. And I think she might just get it.
I'll tell you what, I've got a sneaking suspicion that Kenny might be part of the aforementioned Seaside Track Club that with all the other boys as well.
So she's with Cheeky.
She's with Cheeky Charlie, maybe. I think. Don't quote me, but I've got a suspicion.
I'm quoting.
Yasmin Ostick-Smith, Anne Martin are trailing our Glen Huntly duo at the head of the field. Still a couple laps to go.
It could still very much so change, but I think it's going to be a dramatic one if it's not going to be down to these 2 Glen Huntly athletes at the front. We've seen stranger things happen, obviously, but they're looking pretty strong out in front. Abby Kenny, Fiona Noble leading it out quite nicely, but I reckon there is a little bit of movement in that pack towards the back. So some of these athletes that are sitting towards the back of it might now just start to creep forward a little bit and try and form a little bit of a connection to our St. Stephen's athlete at the front there. So it is still Abby Kenny, Fiona Noble, 400, or let's call it 520 metres to go. 500 now for Abby Kenny, who you're saying, Mick, ran earlier in the evening, so just wants that $100. Wants, what night is it, Tuesday? Just trying to work out what's open on a Tuesday, but Abby Kenny is leading it out, 450. Fiona Noble is going to come late, I reckon, so Abby Kenny, 420 is going to hit the clock as she goes through. So 420 on it now, Abby Kenny, Fiona Noble right behind her there. And as you said, Ostick Smith, who's been doing a lot of the work in third place for a while, now gets the bell too. So Abby Kenny, Fiona Noble, I have a feeling it might be Abby Kenny who's going to win this dash for cash.
And confirmation from Seaside Track Club. Seaside Track Club dominating all night. Got a couple of cheeky wins from Cheeky Charlie and Tom Morris, and now they're going to take the cash in the D race. Let someone else have some fun at the fourth milers meet of the season, Seaside Track Club, please.
I'd love to see a fly from Fiona Noble. She's only 30 metres back, 200 metres to go. I believe in the 90-year celebration. Abby Kenny, though, she's certainly, I would say she's going to take the cash. Abby
She is
Kenny.
dashed, and she'll get the cash.
Yep, and here is the reward for the dash, which we said was always going to happen.
Cash.
And Abby Kenny's going to be the one to claim it. So, in a great celebration of the 90 years as well, it's going to be a Glenn Huntley 1-2. The younger generation of Glenn Huntley with the celebratory members right behind there with Fiona Noble. But Abby Kenny's going to come down this Seaside Track Club. Geez, they seem to be making a little bit of noise, and they seem to be making a little bit of a presence. And Abby Kenny's now going to add into the kitty and claim a little bit of money. And she's going to come down and take the dash for cash, the Women's D Mile Championship. 5:46.7, let's call it.
Oh, yeah.
Noble going to claim the next spot, and a fast finishing Kelly Langford.
Ostick Smith, Summer Albertson, Charlotte O'Brien.
They come through now. So also is going to be Heather Carr getting the bell for Glenn Huntley. The Heather Carr gets the bell now. The rest of our athletes are on their final lap within their final 200 metres of this Women's D Mile Championship. And well done to all the Glenn Huntley women who have come out here to celebrate the 90-year anniversary of the Glenn Huntley Women's Athletic Club, which obviously now all runs under the same banner of the Glenn Huntley Athletics Club, by coming out here and participating in a mile on a beautiful Melbourne Tuesday night at Lakeside Stadium.
And what would you rather be doing?
Oh, nothing. Nothing.
It's nights like this, though, that in all seriousness, I actually wish I had chucked the, the spikes, because I just get injured when I wear spikes, but chuck the runners on and have a bit of a dash around.
As you said, yeah. Spikes.
It's, maybe a low-key 12.5 laps for a 5K.
Even at 25, slower pace.
Yeah.
Thick shoes.
I'm at the age and experience level now where I'm not so turned off a 25 lapper.
Yeah.
It's scary. I still haven't done one.
Oh,
but I'm not.
Yeah, you're concerned for your health, 100%. So Heather Carr, 150 metres to go in the Women's D Mile Championships. And even if you're home, look, I'm not going to do it in here because if I start clapping, you won't hear anything. But have a massive round of applause here for Heather Carr and all the women of the Glenn Huntley Athletic Club, as she's going to come down with 100 metres to go in this mile, 1,609 metre event, with a big smile on her face as well.
Loving it.
This is what it's all about. Heather Carr coming down, proud of the achievement, massive in the moment, and 90-year celebration for Glenn Huntley. And look at this. Look at the finish line. This is camaraderie on display. The young, the old, and everybody in between is going to cheer home Heather Carr of the Glenn Huntley Athletics Club. 90 years of women in Glenn Huntley, and Heather Carr is going to come down and smash the tape. Just under 8:20, I reckon, for this mile. Let's see how close I am. 8:19.
Just
well
under
done
8:20. Right.
To Heather Carr. A great little celebration there. And I I don't want to take away from the moment, but I'm pretty sure there's a barefoot runner running in the next race. I don't want to take away from what we just saw from the Glen Huntly women, but there is a man running barefoot on the track.
I was just thinking the same thing. I thought, hang on, did the guy who's running next just fist pump Heather Carr as she crossed the finish line? And is that man not wearing shoes? And did he just race and take off his shoes?
No,
he didn't, because he's about to race.
He's in this one.
And
look at him; he's still fist bumping everyone. Oh, this man's my hero.
A bit of keen interest close out the evening. When you think you've seen it all at Milers Club, I don't know if I've ever seen someone run barefoot.
I've not on a track. I reckon I've seen it in cross country once or twice.
Yeah, cross country.
Yeah. But not on the track. He must have the strongest feet in the world.
I think I have. Unless you're calling it.
There he is. He's on the screen.
Yeah.
What? Rob Newling. Look at him. Oh, that makes me nervous. What if he gets spiked as well?
I mean,
do you know how many things could
I did it just before Christmas. You call a three-year-old pair of victories. You call that bare feet these days.
Yeah, it's like running on the road.
Yeah.
This is obscene.
I love it. I love it.
I'm wildly here for it, but if you're a very risk-adverse person,
you're not doing
your anxiety would be going through the roof right now. If you're a very carefree, liberal, take the risk, I think Rob Newling is your new spirit animal. That is madness.
The great thing is, for him, it's like, well, what risk? He probably does it all the time. This wouldn't be his first time.
Yeah.
That's my point. He hasn't come here after work in the city in his business shoes and gone, I have to race tonight. All right, we'll do it barefoot. I don't think that's Rob. I don't think that's Rob.
Do you think Rob wears shoes to work? I think he's just consistently barefoot.
I don't want to answer that question. I'm saying that it's not his first race or not his first run barefoot.
How
it couldn't be.
If just it so happens at the end of the race, Rob walks off the track and puts on a pair of Julius Marlowe's. And it is, in fact, that he forgot his running shoes. Yeah. Look at him go, though. I'm entranced by him. I'm going to be watching Rob the whole time. But
I'll watch the top of the field if you want to watch Rob.
We saw the pink shorts, the pink singlet now getting a run.
Yeah, imagine if they traded just for a little bit. James Hall looks like in the pink singlet at the head of the field, just behind our pacemaker. Pacemakers right to the end.
Yeah.
Didn't have that many pacemakers in the 800s, but the miles,
they're
all about it, whoever they is, the pacemakers.
It's a good session doing the mile pacemaking. Not that doing an 800 pacemaking isn't a good session, but you got at least 1,200 metres of action.
It's a different session.
Yeah. There's Rob.
How's Rob going? Yeah. Give us a Rob update, please.
He's staying out of trouble with the spike situation. That is making me feel
at least a little bit
better.
That's where I was a bit nervous. But then again, how many times do you get stood on top of your foot with spikes?
Yeah, true.
It's always like the shin clip.
Yeah. Well, at the front of this race, we do have our pacemaker, and behind there...
Yeah, it's James Hall.
Yeah. Oh, Pat's back. I didn't even see that he was back.
Pat's back, baby. Aidan Davis is in the mix as well, the athlete from Essendon. He's just been led around by Pat, our second pacemaker, however reliable.
See Max Dimtrenko come through now with 3 laps to go. So it's pretty well strung out. There's about 5 different packs or collections of athletes right now. Collectives. Collections of athletes. And it is James Hall who's going to be the beneficiary of the sit right behind our lead pacemaker. 2 Essendon boys working together, an invitation, and Rob Newling is still on the track, which is encouraging. And if anyone was playing at home, which you could not have physically been playing this at home, spotting Gav couldn't be any easier for Mick and I right now. If you can't spot Gav right now, Mick, I'm concerned.
I can spot him. I've found him.
So it is Hall right behind the pacemaker. We've got a little bit of movement in our second pack here. Rob Newling also made his way around 2 people.
Hey, I've got some... This is amazing on the comments. Benny
Oh!
Skura. Benny Skura. Rob beat me at Casey on Saturday in the 3K, on the 3,000 metres. Can confirm he had shoes on.
Wow.
So
We've
maybe
misread him.
maybe he rolled up here in his RMs, forgot
He
his
did. Oh, maybe
and he
we
forgot
misread
his.
Rob. No, I want to believe in the fact that he does this all the time.
We got to ask him after the race.
Maybe he just accidentally brought shoes to Casey.
Yeah,
Maybe it works that way.
Maybe he didn't forget his shoes tonight. Maybe he accidentally remembered his shoes
It's like,
when he went to Casey.
Packed shoes for this 3K. What am I thinking? You know you're barefoot, Rob. We've spoken about this. As he makes his way around another athlete, I'm on Rob watch.
Yeah, I'm on the watch at the front of the field.
You're on
James Hall in the
watch.
pink singlet, and the pacemakers bridged a little bit of a gap on him. As we said, pacemakers got a job to do. They got to set the pace.
Well, Pat's still
There he is. There we have on camera, Gav
the
Burren.
Gav watch. Here he is. This is the man you look
This is
out
the
for
coach.
every meet.
Melissa Duncan's coach.
That's exactly how he dresses every time.
If there's an event at Lakeside Stadium, Gav's there.
Yeah.
So, shout out to Gav Burren. He deserves it. James Hall, 1 lap to go.
3:52 on the clock. Pat's going to step out now as well.
Paddy Matthews leads through James Lynn, Jake Smith and Aiden Davis, the invite athlete and the 2 Essendon athletes.
I reckon Rob's going to get these 3 in front of him here. Just on, if anyone's interested in Rob Watch, he's about to come onto the screen. Here he is. Oh, the grimace. He's forgotten his shoes. He has forgotten his shoes. He's forgotten them. Oh, no, Rob's forgotten his shoes. Every time when he can pass these 3, I'll be so impressed. Here comes James Hall with 200 metres to go. He's going to hold on. Rob Ewing is in a world of pain with no shoes on, with 300 metres to go.
We had him all wrong.
Oh, we've misread
He's usually
Rob.
a shoe
I think
runner.
it was the beard that tipped us off.
He was taking a risk.
Look at this.
He was
James
taking
Hall.
a risk tonight.
He's got the burners on. James Hall is going to claim our final event of the evening in the men's G mile as we start to see the rest of the field make their way through. I am desperate to see the face of Rob Newling as they round the straight here, as we start to see the rest of our men come through. Great racing. Jake Smith from Essendon, so too Aiden Davis, as we start to see the rest of the boys. Oh,
Charlie
here we go.
Upwood.
So the rest of our little athletes now are coming down the home straight, and Rob Newling, the man who might be the most misunderstood individual on the athletics track tonight, with the bare feet, everybody, with the beard at the back, he has made a call to run barefoot, possibly for the first time ever, and he's run a 5:45 mile. I want to see.
I don't know. That was a very, very strong finish.
Oh, he looks okay. Jeez.
I reckon it was just a lap to go grimace.
Maybe it was he was blowing a gasket.
We have to
With a
follow
lap
that
to
up.
go.
I'm extremely tempted to roll down to trackside and just ask the man the question.
Oh.
And if you watch this back, Rob, just please get in touch with us.
Just
So we,
email or whatever, Facebook comment, whatever you need to do. I want to know.
It's a genuine point of interest.
He's still happy though. Look, he's at the finish line. He's clapping through every
He
competitor.
must have meant it.
Maybe he's saying a congratulatory, well done for bringing your shoes. You should be very. Look at that. He's loving it. We love the energy.
We need more
of
Robs.
Rob Newling.
We need more Robs around athletics.
Yeah, we need Rob.
There's already plenty of Robs around athletics, but we need more of this. Yeah.
We need more of this, Rob.
Yeah, unreal.
That's it.
That's oh God. Oh, we were just getting
We got
started.
so distracted by
Yeah.
Rob.
Yeah.
He actually just kept us in it.
Yes, we're just getting on a roll. Okay, meet 4 of Milers Club all finished, and the next meet that's on the Athletics exclusive live streaming calendar is Bendigo 5K Frenzy.
Yeah, the Bendigo Frenzy. It was big last year. There were some really good races up there, so it's going to be a nice hot one. Good to see Athletics exclusive getting to be able to cover that. It's going to be a cracker, actually, and I'm sure we'll be back around for some more Some more Milers Club action. We got how many?
There'll
more?
be a Milers Club, one more Milers Club in March. It'll be 800 and a 5K.
Oof.
And probably some other great racing
Will
in
you
between
be
then.
throwing your hat in the ring for the 5K?
Did I say 805K? I meant 800, genuinely meant 800 and 1500.
Yeah,
You know how you mind.
5K.
I am going to be doing some 5Ks, but just elsewhere, obviously not Milers Club. But anyway, the people don't need to know about that.
No.
Good night, everyone.
Thank you.